always 2 steps forward here, 400 steps back, right? Yeah, I had no idea that I was unmuted on the back, and that was because I had actually gone and I had tested everything and I was seeing all the levels. And what do you know, when I came back, I was too dumb to actually go ahead and mute myself for the intro. But aside from that, who cares? We are here. It is a very lovely Friday here in the soon-to-be non-existent United States, because we are run by two of the biggest jackasses on the planet. But until that happens, that doesn't mean we can't hang out. We can't talk some fun stuff, comic books, video games, anime, all of that stuff. Kick your weekends off right and get us on the right foot. And that is why we are here at Good, the Mab, the Ugly. Guys, I am so happy to be seeing you again. I know it has been, gosh, what's it been at this point? It has been 2 weeks. So for those of you who don't know, the reason we have missed the last 2 weeks of shows is basically my computer has decided to implode on itself. Now, my computer is about 5-6 years old, built right around the start of the pandemic, and it's getting up there. I totally get it. You know, I had to crack it open to do some repairs, fix some things, and long story short, motherboard problems went haywire. I lost my dual channel RAM access. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it basically means my computer is super slow right now. So over the last 2 weeks, I have been hard at work assembling a new rig. We are not on it right now. I know if you guys caught last night's foil variant, I said that this would be the first stream I'd be running on the rig. Decided against it because for those of you out there, like I see some of you in the chat, like Andrew or Zero, you guys who stream know that even the slightest little, like, doop, is going to implode everything. So rather than trying to be fancy and then scrambling like 15 minutes before the show and then going, oh, guys, it'll be 2.5 hours before I get to you, I figured we'll just hang on to the old rig right now and we will take it from there. Give me 1 second, guys. I am trying to find something because this is sort of what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm all over the place right now, I can't find like half the things I want to talk to you guys about. I can't find my stream buddy, which is what I'm really trying to find right now. Where could he have gone? Where could I have left you, my friend? Mein Freund. Let's see. It could be anywhere in this grand old... Oh, and aside from that, like, I've also had to do a lot of data migration work because, in case you guys didn't know this about me, I am a bit of a data hoarder. I make sure I have all the copies of things I want so that I can access them whenever I want. I don't have to deal with DRM. I don't have to worry about something getting edited and then losing it. So I have a network attached storage system going on in my house. And unfortunately, when I set it up initially, I set it up, and this will be a bit of a technical thing, so if you don't get it, don't worry. I set it up as a RAID 0, which basically gave me all the space available on the drive, but it didn't allow me to have any redundancies. And also, when you set up a RAID 0, you can't expand it. So I've been trying, I bought some new hard drives to throw in there, realized I couldn't expand it, had to do a whole bunch of, offload it, format, reload it onto there, and it's just been I'm not going to say a nightmare, because it's not like it's been anything particularly hard. It's just been tedious. If you guys could see my room right now, you would see that I've got like computer parts and screws and tools and everything just sort of like littered around right now. And yeah, it's not a fun place to look right now, but it is getting the job done. Okay, this is really tripping me out. I can't find my stream buddy, even though I totally made it. Here, what is going on? Again, guys, right? Two steps forward and everything, 4,000 steps back. All right, well, I found part of it. Let's see. Let me just throw that in, and let's see. Where was it? I forgot what I wanted to show everybody, or what I wanted to put as my stream buddy. Okay, let me just make. I have to make a new one because for some reason everything just got discombobulated. So all I really have to do is vamp right now, and I will vamp while I pull up the template for, and throw in my stuff, and then we will go from there. Don't worry, guys, it's gonna take 2 seconds. I just feel I'm a little all over the place. You can kind of tell, right? It's one of those weeks. It's one of those days where we are just I don't know, discombobulated. I got no other fancy term for you guys. Export. Look at that. I think we are good in one bito. Uno bito. Obito for all my Naruto fans out there. Let's see. Perfect. All right, cool. That's all taken care of. We can get back to you guys. So yeah, guys, welcome back. Tonight we actually have some topics we're going to talk about. Over these last 2 weeks, I've realized that if, after talking with Andrew about our foil variant scheduling and the way I, just sort of thinking and everything, I've decided we'll try to be a little more focused on the show. Of course, we're still going to talk to you guys. I'm still going to, field questions. We're going to take the conversation wherever it goes. But I also do want to be better about hitting the topics that we have at the top of the show, or not at the top of the show, but hitting the topics that are in the description, in the headline, and all that stuff, right? Because how many times, especially in recent months, have we gone 2.5, gone the entire stream, and then at the very end, somebody like Shinkai or Timon will go, what about the main topic? And then it's like, oh, dang it, that's right, we got to get that. So yeah, tonight we are going to definitely talk about the Texas State Bill 20. It is I've seen just so much, how do I put this? Discourse, corn cobbing, a lot of people not wanting to accept what the bill actually is, a lot of people trying to dodge around it. So we'll go over that tonight. I'll talk about what that means for you if you are in Texas in regards to anime and video games and all that sort of fun stuff. We will also finally get to talking about the new crossover sets for Magic the Gathering, right? Obviously, the ones I really want to talk about are Final Fantasy and Spider-Man, but you guys may have seen that there is a new SpongeBob set coming out, and I definitely, unfortunately, think we have to talk about that. That one's not necessarily a positive. But aside from that, let's see. Those are the main topics of the night. As always, the floor is yours, guys. This show is about talking with you, hanging out with you, letting you guys, get your opinions out there, having a voice, and also, like I said at the top, being happy. Let's find the positivity where we can, because it is so few and far between. But with all that said, let's get into saying hello to everybody. Let's get this show actually kicking on the road. Starting with, this is super weird. I don't know what happened here, but I wish I could highlight it. First comment of the night, Shinkai. What's up, Shinkai? Says, hey, love the Nami pick. Oh yeah, I picked the Nami picture because, one, it's Nami. 2, very relevant to what we're talking about tonight. 3, I was like, cowgirl Nami, talking Texas. This is perfect. 4, I am the world's biggest sucker for cowgirls. Like that character design archetype and stuff, it ends me. If you were watching Foil Variant last night, I showed this off too, but I only have, I have a Gamersups cup, right? The waifu shakers, and the only one I've got is the cowgirl one. So, I put my money where my mouth is. Except, I'm super worried, guys. I don't know if you know, how do I put this? Oh man, bottle. Really tight there. I don't know if you guys know who Shunya Yamashita is. Kotobukiya, the toy manufacturer, or the collectible figure, statue, model kit manufacturer, they have this line of figures called the Bishoujo series, where they have this artist, Shunya Yamashita. She comes in and she draws really pretty, very sexy, very anime versions of popular Western characters. It started with comic books, you know, Jean Grey, like Loki, Kate Bishop, characters like that, Catwoman, Supergirl, and they've since, you know, expanded out. Now they've got like Optimus Prime, they've got some Star Trek girls, they've got like sexy waifu versions of Freddy and Jason and Beetlejuice and the clown from It. So it's a great line. It is my favorite line. Shunya Yamashita is easily one of my favorite artists. I have a lot of her statues. I use them as drawing references. She's peak. They did a line a couple years ago of My Little Pony releases where it was the pony, but then Shunya drew a like human anthropomorphized version of the girl. And the Applejack they made was a cowgirl. And they keep re-releasing the statue, so every time I'm on one of my pre-order sites, I see it, and I'm like, I can't do it, man. Like, I might do it, but I can't do it. But I might do it. Like, can I buy it without the little pony like on it? It's also painful because there's a Hatsune Miku, or like there's a Miku one where she has a pony, and it looks great, and it's the only time Shunya is gonna ever do like Miku merch. But I can't. I can't take that step. I don't really, like, if you guys like My Little Pony, that's cool. I don't really care. I never got into it. I was never a brony or anything. But it's a personal thing. Like, I don't want that. But it might happen. But regardless of that, my little stutter or not stutter, but my little interjection at the beginning there, Shinkai, is I want to highlight your comment, but it's not showing up here, and it's not showing up in, like, the regular YouTube chat feed. It's very, very weird. I can, obviously, everybody watching, we can see Shinkai's right there at the top. Shinkai, I can see it in the chat when I go onto the YouTube page, but here in the back end on the studio and on the OBS, for some reason, you don't show up. But we see you. I'm glad we got you. And yes, Nami, thematically appropriate. Yep. As Andrew was the one who let me know that that you guys could all hear me. But what is going on, buddy? Always a pleasure. Missed you last night on Foil Variant, but okay. I was going to say I entertained everybody in your absence, but I kind of didn't. So for those of you who... Okay, last night we had Foil Variant planned, right? Andrew and I, we talked Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time about the releases for the week, let you know what's good, bad, all that fun stuff. And last night, something came up. Andrew couldn't make it, so I went, all right, not a problem. We could cancel the show, but I also know that he and we've had a lot of scheduling disruptions over the past few months, so I went, you know what, I think let's try and, you know, keep the momentum going, entertain our viewers. I'll go live. I'll talk about a few things. Maybe I'll play some Marvel Rivals, and it'll be fine. Don't even trip about it. So we decide on that. We get, by the time we decide on that, it's maybe about 30 minutes past showtime. So I go, okay, cool, no problems. I go live. I start streaming. I'm talking. I'm talking about comic books. I'm showing off some of the releases I like that Andrew isn't reading. Start blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, I start seeing comments that are like, yeah, just cancel it. Okay, it's over. And I'm going, cancel the book? Or cancel talking about? Like, what are you talking? I'm saying this is a good book. Like, why are we canceling this? Like, what are you talking about? And I realized that I had, for the last hour, I was not live. YouTube on some accounts, and I don't know what the fuck the differentiator is. Sometimes you can just say start stream and you go perfect. Other accounts, you have to select the stream, start it, then hit the go live button. So last night I streamed for an hour before realizing that I had not hit the go live button. It was, you can see the fallout from that. Go check out last night's live stream. At the very beginning, you can see my brain about to just crap itself. Like I am filled with rage to the point where I'm like, I need to go walk for it. Like I need to go like towel down because I'm just so sweaty and hot and just ugh. So yeah, glad to have you, buddy. Missed ya. We'll talk next week. Don't worry, we didn't talk any absolute books or any of that stuff. We just talked Hellhunters. That book rules. Let's see. Hey, check that out. We have Ravul. Ravul, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. I haven't been on the last few bounding streams, so I don't know if you've been over there, but always a pleasure, my friend. Let's see. Zero says, so you spent the past hour boomering as bad as yesterday. No. Okay, so that's thanks for bringing this up, Zero. This is something I wanted to clarify with everybody. So scheduling. Weird bit of scheduling here. As you guys might know, we just went through daylight savings time here in America. Which means our clocks went like an hour forward. Except in my state, because I live in Arizona, so we don't do it. So where I was previously basing my times off of the Pacific time zone, right? I would go, 5 p.m. show every Friday, come hang out. Now that would require me to, like that was 6 o'clock for me, and now that's 5 o'clock for me. So I'm not entirely sure what I'll be doing going forward. I'll either keep the show at 5. I might move it back to 5:30. Who knows? But that is actually why I was a bit why we're starting at such a weird time tonight. 5:45 instead of 5 or 6 or anything like that, because I'm still just trying to juggle things, see how things will work out. But yeah, bear with me. No real boomering today, except for the fact that you could hear me breathing while the intro was going. Phantom Wars. Hey, what's going on? A long time, no talk. Been thinking about you a lot because I've been hopping on Marvel Rivals and I keep getting my butt kicked on competitive. And I know you are one of the few guys I know who actually assembles a team and you guys rank up, and I'm always jealous, mainly because I just want those skins. And really, I just want the one for Sue because she's one of my mains. And it just, you got to get like 3 ranks up. You got to go into gold tier. But good luck getting out of bronze tier when all of your teammates have the collective like IQ of a sea slug. Like, it's so, and there's, I swear there has to be some weird algorithmic thing going on in the back there with however they match make, because you can have like one or two like really good matches and you're like, yes, I'm linking up with like players who know what they're doing, who are dedicated, and then you get thrown into a lobby where nobody knows nobody cares. Everybody is bad. I got into a lobby last night with an 0-8 Wolverine. How is that? How do you do that? How do you go 0-8 as a damage character or whatever they call him, duelist? Absolutely absurd. But love to see you, buddy. Timon, stopped at a traffic light. Be here soon. Hey, you might already be here by now, but if not, get here safe. I know that I don't know anything about Brazil roads. I presume they don't exist. I presume you guys kind of just walk and drive wherever you want, right? But stay safe. Get here soon. Always nice to see you. 2.5 hours? No, it's not an attack on. That's a good thing, right? Like we definitely need to keep things tighter instead of me just rambling on and on and on and on and on and on. Shinkai says, still miss Nico Robbins' cowgirl look. Her Miss All Sunday look was perfection. I'm actually kind of sad. So, how do I put this? I like the idea in One Piece, at least especially with the girls, because they don't really do it with the guys, but, or Oda does sometimes. But the characters will evolve their looks a lot, right? Yeah, they have their standard, Luffy's got his red shirt and his shorts and stuff, but you'll see him in suits, or they might put on a different outfit if they go to an event. It's a cool dynamicism, right? But it's always bugged me that she never brought back the cowboy hat at the very least, right? It's a purple hat. It would work perfectly. You're on the deck of a boat all day. Like, come on, Robin. But I agree with you. I definitely really liked her All Sunday look. That's my guy right there. Andrew has a dozen of Shunya statues. Dude, I want... The latest one she made was this amazing Invisible Woman one, where Sue is like turning invisible. Why do we do this every week, guys? We can just go and look at things on the internet, because that's the beauty of a live digital medium. Is this what I want? I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah. Except I don't know. I gotta find the Sue real quick. Because that's the one we're primarily talking about. Talking about it. Why can't I find anything anymore? I definitely have, like, my brain is so today, this week, forever. I don't know. All right. Let's jump over to the internet. Yes, the internet. So these, you guys probably have seen a lot of these statues around, even if you didn't know it was from Shunya. But these are the figures I'm talking about. So she does, really great anthropomorphized versions. She also does a lot. I really like when I like gender swap character designs, right? Like, I like seeing this. Again, I don't necessarily want Gerald in canon to be a woman or to have him randomly swapped into a woman, but I like seeing cute anime versions of other heroes. I know there are a lot of people, especially in our sphere, who go, "Oh, you drew a female version of Superman? That's whoa, yeah, blah, blah, blah." Shut up. Be quiet. I like cute girls. I like seeing cool designs on cute girls. Thank you, Shunya. But yeah, so this is the Applejack I was talking about, right? Like, I don't want it, but I want it. Like, I mainly want the girl. Like I want the human. Then there was, so you can see they've done a Thundercracker. She's done Freddy. She's done, the clown from It. Pennywise. I always forget that it's Pennywise. I hate when people call it the Clown, because it's not It the Clown. But look at me being just as stupid and saying Pennywise, or forgetting Pennywise. And then this is the Sue one I was talking about, and it's so cool, and like it just feels so vibrant and alive, and the way the hair strands fall out, I love it. This is how I want to draw, but it's this right there. Look. I don't know, like that's hard for me to justify 200 on like a statue, right? I didn't like, I felt a tinge of guilt for having to spend like the $200 on my computer motherboard, and that's very functional and can do a lot of things. Someday I'll get to the point where I can afford her, or maybe she'll drop in price, but I want her so bad. I'm pretty sure Shunya's a girl. I might be wrong. Let's see. Oh, it is a guy. Okay, it is a guy. I thought it was a woman this entire time. That's what I get. Right? But so Shunya Yamashita. Love her. Okay, Zero says, "Hell, I shared Yamashita's art of Tifa to Wolf not long ago." I like that you bring that up, because I'm gonna take a fun little dig here at my boy Andrew. So Shunya's done a Sniper Wolf for Metal Gear Solid. I've noticed this, and I say this completely with love. Anytime we talk about like cool, like sexy collectibles or like Metal Gear Solid at all, Andrew always drops this. And I don't know if you realize that you drop it like so often, but it always makes me like smile. I'm like, oh yep, there's Sniper Wolf. She's coming up again. Oh yep, he's dropping the Sniper Wolf. It's a good figure. I have her. Like, this is a quality piece, and one of the rare actual pieces of Metal Gear Solid merch we get that isn't a $500 kit of Rex or Ray or anything, right? It's such a bummer that, like, I don't know why, guys. Why don't we have like a good dedicated Figuarts line of Metal Gear toys or whatever? We get one or two every so often, right? Like, there've been a couple Nendroids of Snake, there've been a couple Figmas, but no Figuarts of, like Raiden. I can get a Play Arts Kai of Raiden, but that's still expensive. Now I'm just doing old man ramble corner. Your blank screen entertained everyone. It wasn't even it wasn't even blank screen. It was just nothing. I wasn't live. It was just on the foil variant logo. It was pretty stupid. There he is. We have Timon. He is home. We don't have DLS, and it's awesome. What's the DLS? I totally, again, I ramble so freaking much that I don't even know what I might have been talking about. Oh, by the way, guys, happy birthday to our boy Timon. It was Timon's birthday last week. That is our guy. Also, a happy birthday to friggin' Punk 13. I don't know if he is in the chat right now. I wish he was. Let's see. Can I find my favorite birthday clip? Let's see if I can find it, because I will play it all for you. Yeah, this is my favorite little birthday clip, and in honor of Timon and Punk, happy birthday. Oh, we got to turn on the desktop audio. Duh. Otherwise, you guys aren't going to be able to hear anything. And play. Whoa! What was that? What the hell was that? Did you guys hear that?
Birthday party. It's my birthday. It's my f***ing birthday. Because I was born today for my birthday.
If I go over a certain point there, it freaks out. Anyway, now I have it. Now it should play. Here we go. Happy birthday.
Birthday is a really big deal to my birthday. My birthday. My birthday. My birthday. My birthday. My actual birthday. My idea of what my birthday should be. For my f***ing birthday party. It's my birthday. It's my f***ing birthday. Because I was born today for my birthday. Birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
I know. Happy birthday. I'm sorry.
On my birthday. My birthday. Not on my birthday. My birthday dinner. My birthday party.
I mean, I know it's Stassi's birthday, but for God's sakes.
Sit down at a birthday dinner. You tell me how great I am. This is my birthday. For the love of God, treat it like it's my birthday. My birthday dinner. Birthday? Is this your birthday or is it my birthday? It's like it's my birthday.
They's kind of going downhill.
I've never watched the Vanderpump Rules. I don't care about it. It's reality TV. Why would I ever watch it? But I love that clip so much. Just my birthday. It's my birthday. My birthday. My birthday. Especially as somebody who doesn't put a lot of stock in his own birthday, it always just cracks me up. So happy birthday to you two. I'm glad you guys are with us. I'm glad you're part of our little gang of misfits here. And here is to many, many more. If we were all in person, I would definitely buy a round of beers for all of us. Let's see. What am I catching up on here? Woof, you guys are all active tonight. This is what I love to see. Ravul says the daylight savings in Australia is annoying. I don't even know how you guys do it down there. I kind of honestly thought that it was only America that did it, and I really wish we didn't. I'm a single issue voter. Get rid of daylight savings time, and I will vote for whoever you want me to vote for, right? Yeah, no, but you can at least sympathize. I mean, I'm sure everybody here can sympathize, because then you got to readjust to everybody's schedules and you're all off. But like the nice thing is, I got all of this. We're being illuminated right now mostly by natural daylight. I have my computer monitor on, but this beautiful mug, this is all natural. Yes, they did, Shinkai. They did bring it back for like a brief bit in the opening when she got like the big like feather hat, when they got those extravagant pirate costumes. Yes, very much a bummer that it was only in the op. Whatever, we sometimes we got to take what we're gonna get, right? Maybe someday, by the time we get to the end of One Piece, she'll put it back on. Tehillim, what's going on, buddy? Shalom and good to see you as well. Not a gay and late stream. I'll address it at the end of the show again, but daylight savings time makes schedule fools of us all, so we'll talk about that way later on. Flex, what's going on? Flex, my buddy, says Jeff Maines know what they're doing. I thought I would be better like 4 months into this game. 5 months. I don't even know how long we're into it, but I still get angry when a Jeff gets me. Even when I know, like, I hear it coming. I know how to escape. I play characters that can escape him really easy. I play Sue, who has a double jump. I play Johnny, who can fly away. I play Penny, who can web herself up and just like zip out of here. I play Mr. Fantastic, who can kind of like Luffy it, like he can grab onto somebody else and pull himself over to them, and if they're an enemy, he'll hurt them. If they're an ally, he'll give them a shield. And Jeff still gets me. I hate that little guy. There he is. Punk. Yeah, of course, guys. Obviously, you guys were chatting. I'm trying to catch up. So when I gave that shout out, I didn't know if Punk was here or not. He is here. How is it going? Andrew says, my Emma Frost, regular and black Kryptonite Supergirls, and Starfire are my favorites in my set. They don't make like how do I put this? They don't reprint any of those anymore. I think they might do Starfire, but I haven't seen any of the Supergirls in years for like regular MSRP, or at least not stupid priced. And yeah, I don't think I've seen an Emma Frost since maybe it released. Meanwhile, like, where I just saw her. Where was she? Oh, like Stargirl here. She's gotten like 3 re-releases, which is fine. Like, this isn't one of those ones where I'm like, why can't we get Emma? Why Stargirl? I love Stargirl just as much, but it's also, hey, give us an Emma, right? Because I need to add her to my collection now that I actually like her as a character. Volume Dealer, what is going on? Just got back from a trip to Atlantis. I have no idea if you're talking about the Atlantis Casino, Atlantic City, Atlanta City, the actual Atlantis. But either way, I'm glad you're here. Don't eat any cockroach burgers now that you're back on land. We all saw how that worked out for Orm, but nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, Shinkai says, what you said about female girl is how I felt about female Trafalgar Law before it was canon. I really, really do love gender swap art. Again, like I said, cool designs, cute girls, I'm there. So, like, when this line started, I was over the moon, especially because it looks good. Like, that's a bonus, or not a bonus, but we got lucky. Corey, what's going on? Nice to see you, buddy. Long time no talk. I feel like we've been missing each other either in the chat or on streams, but I was definitely thinking about you before I went live. I was thinking, am I going to see Corey? It's been a while. So nice to see you, amigo. Andrew says, it's over $200 for a PVC statue too, not even a resin. That's aftermarket, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I have a resin statue. All prices for things are just like weirdly out of whack. And I'm also looking, admittedly, at one of the more pricier outlets. Like Big Bad Toy Store marks them up by somewhere between like 10, 20 bucks. But I use them personally because I really love their pile of loot feature. For those of you who don't know what it is, you can order a bunch of stuff from Big Bad Toy Store. No matter what it is, you can, they'll hold on to it for like 3 months total, but you can at any time say like ship my ship my orders, and they'll put all of them together no matter how much you ordered, $5. Absolutely insane shipping deal, especially when you're like me or Andrew and you're buying, figure boxes that are that big, and you're buying multiple of them, because then it gets really awkward and wonky with shipping. Tehillim says, I'm on my way home from the city after collecting my comic book haul list at my LCS. There was some good stuff this week. There was some genuinely good stuff. The Absolute book, or not books because Superman was like a couple weeks ago, but Absolute Superman was great a couple weeks ago. Absolute Batman was amazing this week. Like, I forget how much I like that book in between issues. So, like, before issue 6, which is the one that came out, I went back and I read the other 5, and when I got to 6, I went, that's right. That's why I love this book so damn much. As for Absolute Flash, you'll have to find out my thoughts on that book next week when I talk about it with the the only other person I know who cares about the Speed Force as much as I do. Andrew, we will have that on foil variant for you next week. Speaking of comic books, though, You guys might notice our stream buddy tonight is a little reddish, angry-looking fella here. This is the Ghost Rider of 1941, and he is from the series I mentioned at the top of the show, Hellhunters, which we've talked about it a couple times here on the show before, but it is basically a series where here I can switch to the comic book talk and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Hellhunters is basically a miniseries set in World War II where a bunch of Nazis get vampire demon powers, and so it's up to Nick Fury, Sorcerer Supreme of 1941, Ghost Rider of 1941, Peggy Carter, Logan, and Bucky, little 12-year-old Bucky himself, to put a stop to them. It is fun. It is campy in all the right ways that you want a comic book to be. The art gets so beautiful, especially when I always forget his name, Adam Gorham, especially when he gets his when he gets to do this, when he gets to do fire effects or a flaming skull for Ghost Rider. It's just an all-around really, really, really fun series, and pardon me, and I highly recommend it, guys. If you're in the mood for just a fun comic book, it's not going to be one that has a bunch of canon repercussions. I don't even know if they'll ever reference it again until 40 years from now when the new Jonathan Hickman goes, I'll reference my favorite obscure miniseries villain or whatever. And you don't need to know a bunch of things about it. It's just pick it up, read it, have fun, smile, laugh. It's really good. And for those of you who haven't heard me talk about it before, let me just, this issue ends with, the Nazis are on the move, and the Hellhunters show up. They've got power from Zarathos, the guy who gives Ghost Rider his power. But then you'll notice there's Logan, there's Nick, there's the Sorcerer Supreme, there's Bucky, there's Peggy. Where's Ghost Rider? You guys ever see a German bomber, a V-22, turn into a chariot of vengeance? Well, you freaking have now. And this is the kind of goofy, just yeah, this is how I described it last night. This is the Devil May Cry of comic books, right? For those of you who've watched the show for a while, you might know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I regularly hold that Devil May Cry, the series with Dante, the video games, not Adi Shankar's absolute awful garbage that he's developing, but Devil May Cry very much appeals to what a 13-year-old thinks is cool, right? I want the guy to be super muscular, and he uses a big sword and double guns and a big long trench coat, and he can jump and spin all the time, and he's invulnerable to damage, and he loves pizza, and he's always got these hot babes hanging around him. Oh, and then when he really gets back into a corner, he can change into a devil himself. Oh, and he's the son of the underworld's biggest, baddest. As I rolled that out, right, guys? That if I just told you that was my pitch for a story, you would go, all right, have fun writing for Thrasher magazine, right? Because that's exactly kind of the attitude it goes towards. But that is what Devil May Cry is. But because you can play it super straight, it gives it its charm. And that's exactly how I feel about this series. It's just hey, Zero, tell me something. Imagine a Marvel Comics scenario in World War II. I don't know. What about if Ghost Rider turns a bomber into his chariot? Rad. Play it straight. Or we go here. Andrew, give me an idea for World War II with Marvel powers. Let's give, let's have the Sorcerer Supreme use his magic to give Nick a magic sniper, Peggy a magic ghost gun barrage of her own, and Bucky gets a ghost rocket launcher. Play it straight. None of this oh wow, this is crazy, isn't it? And it's just good comic books. So that's our stream buddy for tonight. Definitely recommend going out and picking up this series. It's almost over. It's only going to be 5 issues. Issue 4 just came out. Definitely one to pick up in the trade, but if you are a fan of floppies, of singles, absolutely you'll be able to find all of these in your store right now. And I say do it. Do it. Do it. Listen to Nick here. And do it. Carter, if I can't do that, I don't know what the hell I'm good for. Let's see. Yeah, Punk says, I got a very cool poster of Emma Frost that I ordered on eBay earlier this week. Very nice. I miss having wall space, right? You guys can see during foil variant, I've got wall scrolls up, but I'm running out of space. Tehillim says, one statue I'd love to get is the Super Sons one. I don't know if I know what that one looks like. Let's take a gander. Oh, this one. At least I'm pretty sure this is the one you're talking about, because otherwise you'll have to let me know, because this is the only one I know. But yeah, this thing is bonkers. There's no real like good photos of it. Can I zoom in? No, of course I can't, because you have the stop. I hate, I don't know, guys, when this is a weird rant, but like when it comes to like presentation styles on websites like this, I just hate it. I can't deal with it. But regardless, let's see if I can open the image and zoom in on this. Yeah, this thing is mad detailed. It looks great. It's the old school. It's the actual Super Sons. I saw this when they announced it. It's from a third-party distributor, I think out of like Singapore. Might be... What's SGD? I don't even freaking... Let's Google that. SGD currency. Okay, I was right. It's Singapore. So, yeah. 900 Singapore dollars. What was that? If we convert it, that's oh, that's going to cost way more for us, because their currency is worth more. So, no, great looking statue. I always look at third-party ones, and then I kind of just go, someday. Because they're all so cool, but they're all so expensive. And I want to see one in the wild. I really have never seen any, like, I've never seen this at a comic book store or at a Comic-Con display or whatever. Yes, Wolf says, didn't Square do some Play Arts Kai of Metal Gear Solid? They did, but again, that's Play Arts Kai, very, like, a way more expensive line. I also am not like, it's great, but like, look at what they're selling for, like 400, 100 now. They don't re-release them, and that was all we got, right? I think maybe there's a Sam, like a Jetstream Sam. Let's see, Play Arts Kai Sam. No, there isn't. So that's another downside, right? The only one who's had a figure is Raiden. There's no Mistral, there's no Sundowner, there's no Sam, there's no what's it? Is it Monsoon? I always forget his name, but the memes Jack, that guy. Let's see. Oh, my chat like jumped really far ahead. So if I missed something, I apologize, guys. But we're jumping on here. Andrew says, I paid out my ass for my Emma Frost, like $250 or something. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. He's talking about the Shunya Yamashita Emma. So let's go to Shunya Yamashita Emma. This is one of my favorite pieces of her. I love just even the dynamicism of the base pose and art itself. Like, this rules. I don't remember, Andrew, do you have the diamond one? Because there is the all diamond Emma that they did release, which was pretty cool. That one's a custom one. That's not. Oh, wait. Oh, that guy kind of upgraded his repaint, original. What do you guys think? Let me put that to you guys. That's an interesting question. What do you think looks better? Do you like the eye details and stuff that he gave the figure and making it a little more less opaque, or do you like the full see-throughness on that one? Let me know. I actually don't even know where I fall on that. I don't know. I'm out for myself. Let's see. I know when you're joking. I just wanted to make sure on the one-off chance that you actually accidentally typoed. I don't want to be that guy. Let's see. Have you seen all the new Prisma Wing anime series statues? No, I haven't. Let's see. Oh, wow. Who we've, oh, Prime 1, that'll be it. That'll do it. Well, I know that this isn't all of them because this is I from Oshi no Ko. Like, these always look cool, and I really, really want one. It's so hard to go, yes, I'm paying $200 for RAM in a martini glass. But these are always so cool. Hey, look at that. Megumin. I saw Shikamori. These are so... Prime 1 does way too nice of a stuff. Let's see. Punk says, placed an order for the Gregland foil variant of Vampirella. Enjoy. You know I love you, but I am not a big fan of Gregland. I have all of the criticisms for him. But if you like the cover, then Godspeed and full steam ahead to you, buddy. It'll look great once you, like, hang it up. Volume Dealer says, I get so annoyed with Ghost Rider mythos. Isn't Zarathos supposed to go... Zarathos supposed to be Ghost Rider, and he possesses his hosts. You're not wrong. That was how it was for like a little bit, but in the years since, they do like... How do I put this? It's kind of like the issue of Peter Parker's webs, right? Sometimes they're organic, sometimes they're web shooters, and Marvel often will jump back and forth between what it is. Like, after the other, organic. Then we get to, after the other, or we get to Brand New Day, they're web shooters again. And then some depictions have it organic, blah, blah. It goes all over the place. I don't actually even know I don't know right now if Zarathos is in control of the spirits of vengeance or if he is the spirit of vengeance. It's all whack. This one I just chalk up to it's out of continuity, so let him sort of do whatever he wants, right? But I do understand the frustration. Because, again, if this was, let's say, Ben, I would be frustrated even if it was out of canon. Ghost Rider should have been named Daredevil, says Timon. Either way, either or could have worked. It does make more sense considering Johnny was actually a daredevil, right? Like going off of ramps and jumping school buses and all that cool stuff. But I think at this point, it's settled with me, and I'm like, that's Daredevil is Daredevil, and then that's Ghost Rider. Let's see. Bump, 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 bump. Can't wait for the 4th Angel statue by Prime 1. Do they have that up? Let's see. I would take a look at that. Oh, they do. Wait, is this what this can't be what you're talking about? Okay, yeah, no, that's not what you're talking. Okay, so here's where I'm getting confused. This is the only result. I think I know which one Ravul's talking about, but when I go to their site right now, and this is probably because this is the only one in stock. If I go to the site right now, this is the only result we get for the Angels. Is this little tiny, I can't even tell, are they plushies? They are stitches and zippers, so yeah, they're like a little plush things. Oh yeah, then there's like a regular set, which they're cute, they're cool, but I know Ravul, and it's like, I don't think this is the one Ravul is talking about. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah. Oh, I thought they announced this a while ago. Maybe they gave like a preview, like a teaser video, because I didn't remember this being brand new, but this trailer just came up 16 hours ago. But yeah, this is one of the better depictions of an angel so far. It does the right amount of bio detail without getting too, how do I put this? Too over realistic, if you will. I don't really have any good examples, but I feel like we'll come across them, but I think you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this one looks fantastic. I really want a Ramiel toy, but here's the funny thing: is like Ramiel is just a blue cube, so I regularly go to like estate sales or garage sales, and I look for like maybe somebody had a blue glass cube paperweight, and boom, I got my Ramiel because I've got a bunch of Ava like units, like Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 4, all of that fun stuff, but I want them to fight Ramiel because that's my favorite fight in the series. It's probably Ramiel, followed by, well, yeah, no, like Ramiel's my favorite angel. My favorite fight, even though it's not against him, is the one where Asuka and Shinji have to sync up after learning how to dance. That's my favorite fight. Shinkai says that Yoshino and Raph statues, I want to be a weeb and say kawaii, can't judge me. Or can judge me. But you know what? I don't know if that's a typo or if you're saying, or if you're trying to get a little self-deprecating there. Shinkai, do you know where you are? I'm over here. I'm going to say, like, that's kawaii. Like, I saw the Raph one. Where was she? Boom! Oh, that's the young Raph one. Where was the, that one? That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, like, this Raph looks great. You kidding me? Never be ashamed of what you like, guys. All right? Don't ever let anybody go, oh, you're a pervert. Oh, you're a weirdo. You like anime? You like anime. You like cute anime girls? You like cute anime girls. You like buying merch of your favorite cute anime girl? By God, you buy that merch of your favorite anime girl, right? This is a no shame for what you're liking zone over here, unless it's Tom King. If you like Tom King, we will have a discussion. But for the most part, you embrace that, Shinkai, right? Like, you let the world know, I'm weeb. I don't care. That's where I'm at, right? Like, look, guys, like, I'm 34. I don't have like a girlfriend or a wife or anything, but I still, you guys see my Twitter. You guys are watching the show. I still embrace all the things I really like. I talk about comic books all day. I literally have wall scrolls for high school anime on my walls. I don't give a shit. And you shouldn't either, because screw them. Yeah, Wolf says, I can't wait for my Pyrrha and Mithra resin statues from Angel Studios. I thought those came, one of them, didn't you just get some Pyrrha and Mithra figure? Because I thought it was that. I thought that was the one, these were the ones that you just got, but maybe you got something else? Or maybe you just paid them off? I don't know. Who knows? But yes, these things are bonkers. Andrew showed them to me like a little while ago. This one's Pyrrha. Don't they come with, I believe they come with like 2 different heads, right? Like, you have and then there's Mithra. Yeah, it looks so, I'm pretty sure, yeah. This is what I really love about this figure, guys, is that you can have her like in her realistic version, if you will. Well, more like your Stellar Blade version. It's not quite realistic, but you guys know what I mean. And then you can have her actual full-on anime version, like, of her face. And the way they made the figure, it works. Like, it doesn't feel too like, it doesn't, not even too awkward. It doesn't feel awkward at all or weird when you swap the heads. So, do they light up? I don't remember if they light up or not. And they don't have any info here. But they better light up, because if they don't light up, I'm going to riot. One of these days, the one skill I want to learn, guys, is I want to learn how to thread and pipe in, like, lights into figures to make things glow. It's a semi-complicated process, and it does more often than not involve a little bit of toy destruction, right? Which is, it really only matters if you're like me and you're a dork about like collectability, but you know, sometimes you'll have to drill in a tiny hole to like let the light out of their hand or something, or drill something into their back, or cut off a piece to let the wiring through. Again, if you really just want to enjoy it, more power to you. I wish I was like that, but I think that I have this weird thing in my head where it's like, someday something might happen where I need to sell off all of these toys and I need to maximize their value, right? Because I don't plan on, when I buy things, I don't know about you guys, when I buy things, I don't buy them with the intention of reselling them, right? I rarely buy something going, ooh, I'm going to buy that because I know it's going to go up in value a lot. I buy things I want to buy. Like, maybe, I think the only time I break that rule are comic books, because I can go like, okay, I'll pay $3 or $4 extra to grab a number one of whatever this thing is. Like, I think I have an extra copy of Absolute Batman #1 and Ultimate Spider-Man #1. But yeah, if all that to say, these are cool statues. And if they're not light up, somebody screwed up. Okay, Andrew says those haven't shipped yet, and yeah, they're a 4th scale. I knew they were big ones. I knew they were biggies. And then yeah, and then the pre-order comes with 2 different figures of each, and the battlesuit figures each have 2 heads. Yeah, that's the right here, the deluxe standard Myanmar money. Who the hell? What even is Myanmar 3570, right? That is $800. Okay, not bad. That's about what I expected. Oh, guys, I am so bummed. There's an artist I like, and they have this really cool set of well, it's 10 books. 8 of them are how to draw, like, art tip books, and then 2 of them are like writing guidebooks, and I really, really want them, and they're beautiful, and they're really helpful. Like, I've used them a lot for my own art, but they come from England, so if I want to buy them, I have to pay an extra, like, £120 for shipping. I still might do it, but damn, does that, like, it's the principle of the matter, right? For example, one of my favorite musicians, his name is Tom Cardy. He's a humor musician. You guys might have seen him. He's really, really great. But he is in Australia, and he releases his albums on vinyl. And I collect vinyl. I like vinyl. I prefer listening on vinyl. Again, you guys might forget, as much as I'm freewheeling and fun loving, I am still at my core a pretentious hipster douchebag, right? Like, but he releases his albums on vinyl, and I want to buy them, but it's like $35 or $20, whatever, for the vinyl, and then $80 for shipping. And I'm just like, I can't justify spending more on shipping than I would on the actual product. I can't do it. Yes, yeah. Screaming in geometry. I actually really liked. That was one of the few fight improvements that I liked from the Rebuild movies review, was when they like really overhauled Ramiel's voice, and it got sitting in that theater when they start fighting Ramiel and the first shot goes through, and it like goes through. And then it's like, here, let's just watch it, guys. Why don't we just watch it? Whoa. Ramiel Rebuild Evangelion. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we'll go for, I don't want the whole scene, because that's just, we're not going to sit here and do movie night. Maybe we can, if you guys are ever interested. Maybe we'll hang out on Discord and do a movie or something. And we can all talk and be little jerks. Do our own little MS3K. MST3K, however you want to pronounce it. Oh, we're already in the web talk. We just need to go to the other window. Or to the right link. Bum. God, yeah, see, when 01, Shinji lets loose. Hearing that, like, oh no, wait, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Doesn't he scream like one more time? I swear. Is it here? I swear there's another point where it screams when they. Oh, I think it's right there. Right? No, that's just when it transforms. Oh no. That noise. That noise. It was a little low, so I'll go back for you guys. But that is such good sound design to me. Hearing that in the theater, I felt like it's a high pitched, whining, clashing, screeching metal, and there are very few things in life that I am fanboy over, and like anything Hideaki Anno, anything Hideo Kojima, like it's very hard. Like I can recognize flaws, but I'm also just such a fanboy. If you ever wanted to have a genuine talk about like Ava or like Metal Gear, I would have to like mentally prepare myself, because my first reaction would be like, no, it's perfect. It's beautiful. Like tear rolling down my eyes. Yeah, we don't need to stare at a white screen. That's a boring visual. Let's bring up while we hang out here, we'll just bring up Rami again. Yeah, like this is my favorite Angel because it's just so weird and out there and just all over the place. This is the kind of stuff I like in my horror, right? I like so the term is it's called high strangeness, which this is a very extreme version of that. But think about things like True Detective, at least like season 1, maybe 2, Twin Peaks especially, Silent Hill, places where you go and you can tell things are off, but they're not like on their face off, right? Like for example, I look at Ramio and you go, yeah, that's an alien, and I get that, but it's also like it's a very geometric, like this is not how the others are, right? Sort of, we saw Angel 4 earlier after Ruvul showed us the statue. That's like a humanoid thing with 2 faces. They fight like a jellyfish later. Kaworu is a human himself. So this is like the one that stands out. And you go, yeah, it's an alien, but it's even alien from Alien, but I can't quite put my like finger on it, right? Sort of like the best example I have of this is, think about Twin Peaks. In case you guys haven't watched Twin Peaks, there is a character in Twin Peaks known as the Log Lady, who is just this woman who goes about her business in town. She has friends, she, member of the community, but she carries a log and like cradles it like a baby. She's always got it. Nobody else in the town thinks it's weird. But if you were to go to that town and like sit down in the diner and see her, you would go, that's weird. But then it would be even weirder because nobody was acknowledging that it was off. And that's what I like, when it's that subtle, this should be wrong, but it's not wrong on its face, because that to me is way creepier than like, that's a monster out there. That monster, that is big monster. I don't know if any of you guys out there have seen the movie Smile. It's a decent horror-ish flick. Came out, I want to say like 2 years ago. Basically, the premise is that there is sort of this evil, whether it's like a possessed, like a spirit or just an energy, whatever, that jumps from person to person, and it feeds on like trauma. So what it does is like it'll possess somebody and it'll make that person, kill themselves, and then they do that in front, like they'll make the person do that in front of another person, and then, or they'll kill people or whatever, and it's just to, scare somebody in the vicinity, and then whoever gets like the most scared, that's what the thing jumps into next. And for the most part, it's a very standard horror movie, but that aspect of like, what is it? It just keeps jumping. Is it a mental illness, or is it actually like something? Is it ancient? Is it like, what is it? That was the thing that got me, or had me, I didn't like the movie that much, but what little investment I did have from that aspect. Now, spoiler alert, we get to the very end of the movie and the energy reveals itself to be like an entity. and then the entity physically fights the protagonist and then tries to like open her mouth and like go inside of her, right? Like as a visual metaphor. And I just went, this sucks now. Like the second something is tangible and you can touch it, I don't know, it's not scary anymore. Insidious. I don't know if any of you guys out there have seen the Insidious movies, or at least the first one. First Insidious movie, genuinely scary. Like maybe not on subsequent rewatches when you know what's happening, but like you get in a room with some friends, you turn off all the lights, you have a couple of drinks, maybe you spark a joint or two, and you just zone in and you get into it, like you will get really freaked out. Like I watched that movie, and even with what I'm about to say with the stupid ending, I went to sleep that night and I was like, I don't want to see a little child running through the hallway right now. Please, God, no. But at the end of that movie, the like protagonist goes into the demon realm and finds the demon that's been like torturing him and his family, and then he boxes it. Like literally like, bah, bah, like I'm gonna beat you. And he beats it and he gets his like son back or whatever, and he runs away. And I just went, what are we doing here? Like that is a terrible conclusion to a horror movie, right? One of the like what do I think would be, I'm trying to think, I want to be able to give you guys an example of what I think is a good handling of that sort of thing in a horror movie. My mind keeps wanting to go to Alien because is my favorite horror movie, but more something like it really, I don't have a good example off the top of my head, but the more you can leave things sort of undefined and out there just for it to like settle with the viewer, that's way creepier to me. So that's why I love this Angel way more than everything else. That's not a bad idea, Volume Dealer. Volume Dealer says 3D print something with light nodes added. I genuinely always forget 3D printing exists just because I don't have one. I know it's not expensive. I know one of my best friends just bought one, and he's making all the stupid stuff like all day. Steven, I don't know if you're watching or if you have me on in the background, but make me a speed counter token for Magic already. Damn. But yeah, that might be cool. Oh, I don't have that. This is not the right graphic. There's no might be cool graphic. Yeah, Andrew says they were my birthday and Christmas gifts to myself last year. No shame. I don't even care if you just said I'm buying them because I'm buying them, right? Like those are quality statues. The only thing I worry about, buddy, is for those of you who watch us, whether it's a foil variant or on Andrew's own channel, or when he's on Rippaverse shows, his room is getting really crowded in his little spot. So I don't know where these 1/4 size statues are gonna go. Let's see. Just purchased the Test Type 01 Night Battle version by Prime Studios. Ooh, what's that one? Night Battle version by Prime 1 Studio. I don't think I've... you're getting this? I'm so jealous. This thing looks so cool, and it glows in the freaking dark. Like, long-time viewers of the show know there are 2 ways to sucker Mav into, or 3 ways to sucker Mav into buying something: translucent plastic or translucent material, glow in the dark, or foil. And by God, this one is so cool. When that comes in, Ravul, you tag me on Twitter, take me a photo. I know it's going to be months, it's going to be a while, but I want to see that thing. Oh, maybe not, because it's in stock already. Well, you definitely got to let us see that, because that thing is so incredibly rad. Timon is back. Said, whoop, jumped too high. Timon says, never cared for Evangelion. It's not for everybody. It's very, very divisive. I totally understand why. I like it a lot because it is sort of, it hits kind of a lot of the things I like in my fiction. I like aliens. I like mecha. I like, I like cute girls. I like cool effects. I like interesting designs. I like unconventional plots, things that really make you think. And to me, Ava just sort of hits that all in spades. Definitely like my favorite type of robot, which is a robot, like organic hybrid type thing. But I know a lot of people don't care for it. It's definitely probably my favorite anime. Yeah, I'd say probably Ava, even over like Dragon Ball, right? Like, I'd say that. I almost got an Ava tattoo once, but then I opted to get this one instead because it was more colorful. The Tech-On. Oh, dude, these Tamashii Nations Tech-On toys. I like these ones a lot, Rabul. Well, like this is the Captain America one, but yeah, like this Venomized Wolverine one. I like that design element a lot. I know it's not practical, and I know it's super 90s, but I love extra tube, like external tube designs on things, right? Like Bane when he has like the Venom tanks going. That's stuff I love. And to me, this is a really fun way to do his tongue without actually, going through and doing the tongue. But yeah, I love these figures. The Mondo did a couple like transformable ones. I love these. I love this stuff, man. I even love the weird Play Arts Kai Marvel, or not Marvel, but the DC. Let's see if they even have them in stock here. Probably not, considering they're so old. Maybe. No, I don't know what any of that is. Anybody want the Blue Beetle adult gloves? I don't even. Why would you sell them separately? What the fuck? You know what? No, I'm gonna find these and I'm just gonna start committing crimes. I'm gonna start robbing banks. I'm gonna start stealing things, and this is gonna be like my signature. Like, my God, the Jaime Reyes robber strikes again. How are we ever gonna find him? It's just absolutely absurd. But let's see. DC Play Arts Kai. What an awful website layout. Oh, wait, maybe. Yeah, you guys suck. But we can open up a couple of them and take a look. Oh, that's right. They did do Marvel ones. I totally forgot. That's how long ago they made these figures. Oh, I just clicked on a Vincent one. But you know what? You know what? That's my guy. Boo-doo-doo. Whoa, who was that cowboy? Wait a second. That's a Batman? That's a cool Batman. So yeah, if you guys don't remember, way back, what was this, Andrew? Like 2006? 7? Very, very long time ago. Tetsuya Nomura, the designer of Final Fantasy VII. What is it? What else did he do? He did, 7, I think 13, lots of them. We all know what he does. Kingdom Hearts, right? DC partnered with Square Enix to do these Play Arts figures, and they're all based on his original designs. So they're very. It took me to Amazon. What the hell site is this? What a bizarre site we're looking at. I'm kind of like, hold on, Rule. Or Volume. I gotta take you down. Like, this is. Buy now, right? And it's got all of the details, and it says, SH Figure Arts, and it's got all of everything. But if I click buy now, Amazon, sure. Why not? I don't get, well, sure. But, and I can't, like, that makes it so we can't zoom in. But there's got to be a better website for us to look at. Toy Arena, maybe. Just a gallery, guys. I don't need to buy it. I just want to look. We just want to look. We want to be able to zoom in. Okay, this site will do. Let's hope they have actual. They made a figure for Helena? What in God's name? Who bought this? Who in the world bought the freaking Helena? It's sold out. How many of you guys even knew Helena was a character until I brought her up right now? I'm pretty sure it might only be Andrew. Absolutely bizarre. Keep opening them. Yeah. Just open a bunch of them. We just want to look at a bunch of Play Arts Kai toys. I have, so Andrew here says, I have the Spider-Man and Harley Quinn Kai arts. So I actually have the original full runs of the FF7 crew. Like they originally only did like Tifa, Sephiroth, Cloud, Aerith, maybe a Vincent. I can't remember, but it was a very limited thing. Then I have the Play Arts Kai Advent Children initial run before they did like Reno and all of them. So I have the Tifa, the Sephiroth, the Cloud, and I believe the Kadaj was part of that line. If he wasn't part of that line, I still have him. And then I have all of the FF10 original Play Arts Kai, which was Auron, Yuna, and Titus. But unfortunately, and this one always kind of hurts, that run was notoriously shittily produced, and it has a problem where if you try to adjust one of the joints on Titus's legs in just the wrong way, it will not just like come off, but the ball joint inside will like snap off. And unfortunately, that happened to mine in transit. So by the time I got home, eventually opened it, I was just like, luckily, if you like stand them and pose them, you never know the difference. But that's always one of those things that like it feels like a black. It's one of those things where if people came over, they would all go, "Whoa, that's awesome! You have the set," and I would feel like they all know he's broken. They all know, but in reality, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Andrew says, "I have Cloud and Tifa Kai from Advent Children and the AC Cloud with Fenrir regular." I don't have that. I don't have any of the Fenrirs because when they came out, I was broke as shit, right? I was a college student or right out of college, barely making any money to even pay my rent. And nowadays, they don't ever reprint them. And so I'm not paying like $600 aftermarket for it. Like, there's absolutely no way. Let's see. Any other cool ones we should pop open before we just get over there and start taking a look? Cyclops. Of course we got to bring up our guy Cyclops. Let's see. Who else is around? Doc Strange, Widow, Maggie. Yeah, Diamond Dog. I'm just opening that one because I like Diamond Dog. What else? Yeah, so, as we were saying, DC teamed up with Tetsuya Nomura, and we got some pretty kind of out there designs, right? Like, this is, obviously, it's New 52 era. Some of these are cool. Some of them are a little, Nomura needs to, like, scale it back. Like, for example, I think this one's a little too Nomura. But then this one, this Thor, that looks pretty damn good. Good on you, Nomura. This is where your design specialties shine. But then we, let's see, what was their Iron Man like? Okay, maybe you don't have, not bad, right? Again, I think this is a variant one. I have nothing to say for that. Who are you? Monster Hunter? Oh, wow, I didn't know they did this one. That's sick. A Diablos armor set from Monster Hunter? That's rad. Man. By the way, shout out to everybody enjoying Monster Hunter Wilds right now. I know it's taken my Monster Hunter friends by storm. I'm not a big Monster Hunter fan, but dang, I'm super happy for you guys, and I hope you enjoy. I will give a shout out to Capcom because, as I learned from Andrew, they were having a lot of launch issues with that game, particularly with crashing. But they released a patch like in a day, less than a day, that completely eliminated the problem. So we always got to shout out the devs, right? When they finally do things right. No cool shots of that Deathstroke. Yeah, the Spidey one's pretty cool. The black one, you can't really see the details. Yeah, he didn't really go too hard on Spider-Man. But this is one of the cooler. Oh, that's not even Nomura. Huh, I didn't realize that one wasn't Nomura. Hitoshi Kondo. Who's that? Hitoshi Kondo. Kondo. He is... Oh, he was the art director for Final Fantasy 13. Oh, so he's just like Nomura's understudy. Got it. I totally understand. I see you now, DC. Let's see. What did this one? Oh, yeah. Feora. Just... I love her. I just love... What a babe. Just in general. Bring her character back. The 2 seconds I got to see of her CGI'd face back in The Flash were best 2 minutes of that entire film. This Hawkman one is actually pretty cool. Like with the super metal wings. And then Wolverine claws for some reason. Oh, it's like bird talons. Duh. Then we have... Oh, yeah, then he did a bunch of different anime Batmen, which, kind of cool. I kind of really like... I've always liked this design element of putting the white, like, eyes technically, like, on the brow, so that's, like, intimidating to them, and it's more of, like, a psychological warfare thing. I always thought that was a really cool design element. We opened you twice. Cyclops is, unfortunately, one of those ones where I think Nomura could have done best to maybe, like, step back just a little bit. I'm glad Scott got love, but you guys know this. He's my favorite X-Man, and this one was just sort of, it feels too noisy. Like there's way too much going on this one. I'm also just not a fan of his weird hair. Like his weird wind-swept back Jin Sayotomi hair. I love Jin Sayotomi. It just doesn't feel like it works for Scott. And then I pulled this one up because I know we have our boy Zero in the chat, and this is one of his waifus. But they also did a Laura one that I thought this one worked out. Like, this is really cool. And this was actually way before this was before Marvel tried to, like, make her Wolverine, right? So this is kind of the combination of what we were talking about before, where they just went and made a cute girl version of that suit. And then they said, throw Laura in it. And boom. Worked perfectly. Absolutely, like, genuinely no notes. I really like this design. I think something like this should be her suit. Something more, like, this is like her X-Force suit than just the Logan suit. Her in the Logan suit just doesn't... I'm not about it. I'm not about it. Yeah, the Cyclops has some cool stuff, Volume Dealer. I just think you got the base there. You just gotta maybe tone down a few of the lining, of the excessive lines, and then for me, just get I want a different hairstyle, but that's just me being very, very nitpicky. Yeah, Doctor Strange, pretty straightforward, pretty cool. Not a bad take. Black Widow. Oh wow, Black Widow just looks like she came straight out of Marvel Rivals. Though I do like that they put the Widow symbol thing on her thighs. That's a smart move. Mags with I loved this when this figure came out. His cape is metal, and I don't know why more things don't do this. This is so cool. This is king shit Magneto, right? Like this is the one who fights the X-Men. And then I just pulled up Diamond Dog because all praise to Diamond Dog in Metal Gear Solid 5. Just one of the best little gameplay elements that they added to that series. The Carnage version of the Venom figure. Like, these ones kind of work with all the lines because it's supposed to be like a weird, horrific mishmash of things, right? And then we are back here with Helena because she's there because somebody wanted... What a random toy to make, right? Yeah, he does look a little bit like the... Timon says that Hawkman... Where did I put him? He's here somewhere. Did I close him? Yeah. Looks a little bit like the... what's his name? Yeah, Hawkman from Masters of the Universe. Mecha Magneto. Little bit... That's what a lot of these are. A lot of these Kai figures are mecha influenced, right? Like, we can all see that. Very, very, very obviously. But to me, that's sort of the appeal, right? Like, mecha it up. Yes, Timon. Yeah, this type of hobby is for rich people over here. It's nowadays this is for rich people here as well. So you're like these figures, obviously Magneto here, $130. When I was buying those original sets of Play Arts Kai guys, those were $50, $60, which maybe with inflation equals out to the right amount. But back in the day, it was not as egregious for me to go, okay, I can go buy a figure. It's $50. That's just, a new game or a night out or whatever, like totally easy. Now, admit it, yeah, like it is sort I wouldn't say a rich people hobby, but it's way more pricey now. My little pain exasperation here was they announced a line of, here, let's go to Big Bad Toy Store. They'll have them. And I know that because that's where I bought them. 43 tabs, my ladies and gentlemen. That is what we were sitting at this point. Whoop, I didn't type that in correctly. Play Arts Final Fantasy VII. Oh no, it's not the Play Arts ones. It's the Bring Arts ones. So Square is doing this line here of they're doing their Bring Arts line, which their Bring Arts are supposed to be more faithful recreations, like right out of the game, right out of the page of the art book or whatever. They're doing a line here of all the original Final Fantasy VII cast. So you've got, or at least like they're doing the team. So you got Vincent, Yuffie, Cloud, Red, Tifa, Cid, Kate Sith, Aerith, and where is he? Maybe he's sold out. Oh no, yeah. Well, he's sold out, but you can also get Barrett. And then as part of the set, they're doing a Zack. They've got the Turks, and they've got Sephiroth. And as you guys can see, like these are 130 each. And sadly, like I'm not buying all of them. I'm only buying the main team and Sephiroth. I really, the Turks are cool. I like their characters and what they do, but this is not, how am I paying more for a woman in a suit, right? And here, let's even see like what accessories she comes with. A woman in a suit with 5 extra hands. That's it. Is $135 as opposed to Sephiroth, who is the main villain of the game, comes with hands, but also his sword is $130. I don't get it. So like I'm not buying the Turks, but I'm buying the crew. But to your point, Timon, like it hurts. It's not one that I look at and go, this is fun. It's every time I get the notice that the pre-order is about to, have the payment go through, I just go, yep, yes it is. Just do it. Just do it. Andrew says, I actually really want Rufus Shinra's Kai figure because I think he's based AF. He's a good villain. I fucking hate him, but I understand, like, that is why I get what you're saying, because he is a good villain. But this is, like, I'd pay for him. He makes more sense. He's at least got a design, and he's got, like, his gun. I get that. Like, this I get. I don't get, like, Rude for 100. Again, if you wanted to sell these guys for, let's say you do the Turks for, I don't know, 90. And then maybe Rufus and Reno or Rufus and Rude are 120 or 130. Fine. But to expect me to pay that for all of them, it's way too out there. Oh, no way. Corey, breaking news. George Foreman passed away at 60 or 76 years old. That is, that's heartbreaking. I guess, I didn't really have a connection to George outside of, I knew his boxing career. I knew his grills. I knew the fact that he named all 13 of his kids after himself. But still, a loss, a legend gone. Just more of a reminder, we're finally hitting this period in our lives, right? Where the people we grew up with, the cultural touchstones we know are starting to go. And I used to joke about this when I was a kid, right? Like, man, it's like my parents or my grandma would, oh, so and so actor died, so and so, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't know who they are, but someday they're gonna start coming for people I know, and here we are, right? Like Akira Toriyama, George. Just growing up or growing old sucks, but we all got to do it. But we can all at least have some laughs while we're still barely hanging on. Okay, yeah, this is way. He comes with like 3 guns and a hand with his coins in it. I don't even think the Bring Arts one comes with that. And this one's for 20. Okay, first of all, yes, $20 more than the regular Bring Arts. That's a good difference. However, I still think this is too high because I think the Bring Arts is too high. This one should be like 135 or like 120, and I could totally get behind that. 1000%. His design is sick, and the boss fight in Remake is badass. Do you guys want to know something? The entire reason my rig is like imploding and we're in this weird good map ugly tech weird I don't even know what do we call it. It's like a liminal space where like nothing is happening. It all happened because I was trying to play Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth. It came out. I went, yeah, I'm gonna, I bought a new SSD because I was like, I need the space. I'll start using it for a dedicated SSD for video games. Came in, I cracked open the case, I went, put it in, it worked, and then I went, let me do some other maintenance that I know needs to be done. And here we are. So I really want to get to Rebirth so bad, but Remake, you fight him on in Shinra, right? It's been, I played that game through 3 times, and I've already kind of forgotten that stuff. Sakura says, I guess I'll save it for next week. I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. I don't actively look at the Discord while I'm live. I have all the windows open. The notifications are all hidden so that I don't get distracted. If you do send something, if you do want to let me know, do like Timon here. Let me know, like, oh yeah, we sent you something on the Discord, and I can jump over there. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. Where's shout out? Where's Josh? I don't know if Josh is watching right now. I know we were talking earlier. Yeah, he's a big Saint Seiya fan, but 1/10. That's so cool. But see, this is one of those things, right? Volume Dealer and Revul, or Volume Dealer and Timon. I want lighting, I want to pipe lighting through this. All of that stuff, those like his snakes, or not his snakes, but his energy, that should be like glowing in my opinion. That would be really cool. Yeah, man, like these statues are always so cool. I kind of feel, how do I put this? So you guys know this. I'm Filipino. My family is straight from the island Filipino. Like I'm first generation in America. When I go out to visit my family in the Philippines, outside of the ones who live in the city, when we go out to the rural areas, you have a lot of, the only real way I can describe this is like drug dealer house chic. And by that, what I mean is when you go out into the rural areas and you start, people will buy a big parcels of land when they have a lot of money, and they'll open a business, whether that's like breeding exotic animals or farming or what have you. But when I go to the Philippines, when I go into these businesses, that's where I see these types of things, right? For example, my stepmom's sister's boyfriend, husband. So like my uncle-in-law, I think. I don't know, guys. As my my Latin American friends can also attest to, especially if you're Mexican. When it comes to like Filipino family trees and all that stuff, you don't know who the hell is a real family member or not. It's like, oh yeah, that's you remember the guy who served us McDonald's once, right? Like you recognize him? That's your uncle. Okay, sure. Like that's just how it goes. But yeah, my uncle-in-law, he owns an exotic animal breeding business. Like he breeds award-winning, I believe they're pit bulls, because that's again, it's the culture over there. Pit bulls, lizards, birds, literally tigers. Like when I was over there a couple months ago, I went and I saw I was like staring at a tiger. I fed a tiger that was just sitting on a property. It was in a cage, but it was still wild to see. But the entire property is lined with like statues of Naruto characters, but like not good. How? Oh man, please tell me I have. I really want to be able to show you guys this stuff, because it really drives home what I'm perfect. I found it. Let me just send these photos real quick. Select that one. Okay. Send via Discordo. Send it to myself. Oh. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Rad. Hey, what's going on, Dante? Nice to see you. We are just hanging out. We have not quite gotten to any real news yet, but we are chilling, looking at toys, talking about things we like. You know how we do here on Good, the Mad, the Ugly. Let's see. First off, before I pull up the pictures, I totally forgot Punk had sent this. This is the link's not working. Oh, it was working. It did pop up right. This is the poster Punk said he got for himself. That's Emma always looks great. Does it come with the frame or not? Because I'm only asking because it has the frame in the like the preview things. Probably not, but still a great poster. Got it. We're never gonna see her again. Like, she's trapped in Exceptional X-Men, and we're just gonna have to deal with that for the rest of forever. Let's see. Okay, so whoa. Okay, so this is okay. Good. The photo opened up. So this is a panoramic shot I took of my family's like breeding grounds or whatever you want to call it. This is their home / like compound. I don't know. But you can see they have decked out like their entire front gate and everything with just like, it is Naruto statues. You have straight up like the statues that are at the gates in the Leaf Village. We have the custom signage. All of the like guys. They got Tsunade, freaking Boruto's dad's dad. I always forget his like real name. Boruto's dad is there. Jiraiya. There was, I thought Rock Lee was here somewhere. There's young Kakashi. Like there's all of them. And also, funnily enough, again for my Latin American friends, they are of the quality that you would see at like the swap meet if you were buying one of those clay piggy banks of like Winnie the Pooh or Mickey the Mouse that are accurate, but the paint job is a little weird and it's not quite like on point. Minato, there we go. Thank you, Andrew. I don't know what it is. I know who he is. I know all the story. I read the manga. I've watched the movies. I always forget his name. But that also may not come to a surprise to you specifically, Andrew, considering how bad I was with names in our D&D campaign. But back to what I was saying. Oh, also, there is, if you go, I think I have a closer picture of that. But then we, yeah, there we go. Like, you kind of see it. It gets a little less quality. But even as you go down the lane, like, we've even got Pokemon statues, right? But inside, when you go into the sort of receptionist room, I guess you would say it, of the, like, breeding kennel, they've got all these shelves with their awards, and then, like, these types of anime statues, right? Like, the super intricate, like giant ass 1/10, 1/4 ones. And that's why I like it. To me, it's like when you go, okay, I don't know, maybe you guys didn't have as rough of an upbringing as I did, but when I was younger, I knew a lot of less than savory characters, and I would, hang out with, either their kids or when I got older with them. And you go over to their houses and they have just gaudy shit displayed everywhere. Some of it might be cool, but there's no like aesthetic sense to it. There's the neon sign of the neon Bud Light sign, and then there's the dark light tiger blanket that we all know that I'm talking about, and then there's an old intricate mirror with some like a letter painted on it, like a nice fancy G or something. And you go in there and you're like, this person understands what you do with money, but like not how to do it right, I guess. The person goes, I have money, I buy like expensive thing, I show off expensive thing. And it's like, yes, cool. But also like, there's a sense of presentation, aesthetic, decorum. I wouldn't necessarily put a giant titty anime figure. I might, but an average business might not want to put that in the middle, like the main waiting room of their lobby. And I'm not just talking about like it wasn't even like the Pira and Mithra we saw, right? Where they're in their swimsuits. I'm talking about the ones that are like booba, like almost popping out. And it's very clearly like a cheesecake figure. So that's what I mean by drug dealer chic. And that's what these always make me think of. Cause like, I feel like only rich people buy these and then they display them. But it's like, I've never seen. Yeah. I don't even know how, I'm trying to. This is the metaphor I have, and I don't think it's good, but it's the only one that's coming to my head. It's essentially like, oh, you go over to a guy's house, and you might have all these awesome comic books, right? And you go, oh my God, you have Amazing Fantasy 15, you have Fantastic Four 1, you have Crisis on Infinite Earth, whatever. And if, like, Guy A has them, but they're all like sort of oh yeah, there's a couple in that shoebox, I put a couple on the bookshelf, I think some of them are in the drawer over there, there is a long box, but I don't actually even know if they're all in there, they're all out, like not even alphabetized, they're just thrown in there. Then there's Guy B who's like, yeah, I have some of them framed, I have some of them like they're all organized in long boxes. I could tell you, oh yeah, that's box A, so you're gonna get Avengers, Amazing, whatever. Both of them have the like money, and both of them should be like, okay, impressive. You got, like, you were successful enough. But you will go, like, what is, like, do you not understand what you're supposed to do with like comic books and stuff to the first guy? And the second guy's collection is going to be way more impressive. So that's what I mean. That's what a lot of these figures make me feel. I would still want them, and in an ideal world, I would have like, if I was super rich, I would have a nice room, and I would have all of them on display properly. I wouldn't just have you come into like my den and there's a $5,000 solid gold Bulma, right? Just like sitting on the mantle or whatever. Timon says, we used to collect beer and soda cans. When I was in college, in my second year of college, when we moved out of the dorms into our first apartment, which was an off-campus apartment, but it was one of those deals where it's like, yeah, it's an off-campus apartment, but everybody knows you go there. They have like a partnership with the university and all that stuff, right? And when we were there, so we're like 18, 19 probably. We collected our alcohol bottles, right? Like our hard alcohol bottles, and we would put them. We had one of those like house kitchen setups where there was a big gap between the cabinets and the roof, or like the top of the fridge. So we put them all up there, and we did that for the entire school year. And when we got to the end, it was like, I think we took it all to recycling and got like $300 fucking for it. And this is like glass and just nothing like substantial. It was crazy. Them good old college days, right? They were fun. I don't miss them. I sure as shit don't want to go back. Yeah, Dante, we did see George Foreman rip to the guy. He's getting that grease up in heaven now. Andrew says, in reference to FF7 Remake, just finished my most recent hard playthrough. Now I need to finally play the Intergrade story and finish Crisis Core Reunion, which I'm like halfway through. Definitely, I've done Crisis Core Reunion. That one, well, okay, let me correct this. I didn't finish Crisis Core. So I've beaten the original a couple times, back on the PSP. I started the Reunion release on PC. What was that, like 2 years ago when it dropped? And I got really, really far, and I'm almost done with it. But I personally don't think I can play it anymore, because that was the game I was in the middle of playing when I got the call from the hospital that like my dad had gone like non-respondent and like brain dead and stuff. So like it was a bad memory associated with it. So I don't know if I'll go back to it, but I love Reunion so much, especially because it's so funny to me. When I played on PSP, or when you play Reunion, you can see like you do a mission, it takes like 10 seconds, then you get kicked back to the menu and you pick a new one, you do it, you get kicked back. That made sense on the PSP, right? Because you had so many load times and it needed to, you do your mission, kicks you back, uses 20 seconds to load, then you get the menu. That made sense in that pacing. But on PC, you're just like dink, 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 dink. And I just go like, can't you give me an option to just like hit A and go to the next mission instead of having to go back the entire time? Corey, take it easy, my friend. Oh man, you're back on that early work grind. My tired heart goes out to you. You can't really like pray or anything for like more sleep, but my thoughts are with you, buddy. Go get some sleep, go get some rest, have a day tomorrow at work as good as it can be, and I will talk to you very soon, amigo. Yeah, so where was I even going with that? I don't even remember what I was talking about before I said bye to Corey, but that's where we are. Beer and soda cans. I have some soda cans, but those are like collector's ones. Like I have an original 7-Up can from when they did a Power Rangers promo. So I've got like all the Red Rangers on them, the White Ranger. Those just tend to be really hard to maintain because they crumple so easy. And if you get even like a little ding on it, you donezo. You donezo. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, I'd have those, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I would have those $5,000 like solid gold whomever, like a Yuffie, but I would display it properly, right? Let me see if I can pull up this really fast, because this would be a hilarious visual example of what I am talking about. And like I know it, and it's just if Google will help me up or help me out. Well, it gave me the episode, but let's see. I can just pull it up because I know exactly where this bad boy is. I actually know where this one is. Until I pull that up. Let's see. Yeah, Timon, that absolutely was. In the 90s when the cans had art on them. Let's see, I can probably pull up a picture of it. Cherry 7-Up Power Rangers can. Yeah, holy crap. They're all up here on Google. That's cool. Oh wait, wrong window. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Like this is the one I'm thinking of. But then, yeah, there's the Red Ranger one, the Black Ranger one. I guess these were for the movie, huh? Because those are like the more armored movie suits. That's awesome. I like that the pictures are up there. That's cool. Let's see. Sakuramita says, is it me or are modern remakes games getting worse? I actually would say they're getting better. There was a period there, I'd say, for like 10 years, let's say like 2014 to maybe, or maybe even like 2012 to 2022, right? we were getting a lot of remasters that were really lazy. That were like, oh, we'll upgrade the graphics and that's about it. Oh, we're also going to cut some stuff. I bitch about it all day, but let's see. Chrono Trigger, iOS ports, font. One of the, like when they did the updated remake port of Chrono Trigger here, they smoothed out all of the like sprite details and then they changed the font so it was Arial. I think now we're getting a lot more understanding of people like those people liked those original games because of what they were. They didn't like it hoping, oh, I want, a better version. So nowadays I think we're seeing a lot more like for example, like look at Lollipop Chainsaw. A lot more care in presenting, here's, what we were doing, here's what we did. A lot more options, a lot more like customizability. Like, do you want this font? Do you want that music? Do you want these graphics? So we're getting there. We're definitely getting we're advancing in that regard. The problem point, I would say, is a lot of there are still those remakes that do come out that are just like shitty cash grabs, right? Dead Rising, the Breach, I don't even remember what that one was, but the remaster they released a couple years or like a year or two ago, that was an example of what I'm talking about, where they cut a bunch of shit and they made a bunch of unnecessary changes and just gave you an inferior version of the game. Now, I point to something like Ninja Gaiden 2, right? Where unfortunately they still didn't base it on like the base version of the game. They instead did it on the black one, which has its own whole, there's some content that's there, not blah, 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 whatever. But in Ninja Gaiden Black 2, the remake, they kept a lot of the old costumes. They brought them back, like Rachel's Demi-Fiend one. They give you options as to, do you want, classic controls? Do you want difficulty? That kind of stuff. The Tomb Raider remasters. One thing I'll shout out to those is that they actively incorporated both control styles. So you can do an updated, I'm moving the camera around with like the right stick and jumping like you would in a modern game, or you can use the tank controls. So I think we're getting there. The bigger companies right now are going to be the ones that take way longer to get there. Like Capcom is probably going to take a while to get there. I don't know if EA and Ubisoft even do remakes of their games, but they'll take a while to get there. Overall, I think we are in a better place right now with video games being treated fairly and communicating the things we love instead of just running roughshod over it. Of course, we're still shaking off that last decade and not everything's perfect yet, but I think we are. I'll white pill you. I definitely think we're seeing improvement. That's exact, Andrew. You were the reason I brought up that game, because you have been talking to me about it, and I trust your word like 1,000%. Oh yeah, they did do that like remaster of the Ezio trilogy. Oh yeah, that was a while ago, huh? Yeah, I totally forgot about that. That's interesting. Oh, Sakuramita says, I'm still bitching about FF7 remake. I just want the original experience remade and upgraded. See, I get that. I hear that from a lot of people. There's you. There's our friend Zero Dozer. I kind of disagree. I really like what we're getting with the remakes. I really like the approach they're taking to it in the sense that it is a remake, sequel, pseudo sort of thing. I think it's opening up new story avenues, and we're seeing just different stuff. I don't know. I like that. To me, I don't really want a remaster of that original experience because it's already great. I play FF7, the PS1 one, without any mods or anything. I play it at least once every 2 years. And to me, essentially, like you'd be asking for a graphical like upgrade, right? Which like I get, but also, I don't know. I like what we got. If you wanted to do like a graphical upgrade to it, sure, I get that. But I'm not always I'm not a person who actually thinks a lot of things need remasters or remakes. I'm one of those people who says, you know, those original games were made in a very specific way with the limitations of their systems to communicate specific certain things, and remakes and remasters often overlook that for graphical fidelity or technological advancement. So to me, if the original game is still good, just jump right into it. Just go play that game. And FF7 is definitely still a really, really good game. Let's see. Zero says, modern remakes fucked with the original content so much that it has become rare for one of these to catch my attention in a positive way. Take miracles like Ninja Gaiden or Xenoblade. And yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting at, right? We did have a very significant period where we were seeing a lot of really bad remakes. But I also am not a doomer, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due, and I'm seeing a lot better treatment of stuff as it starts coming out, right? Even collections are getting better, like the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, or I can't even, I'm like blanking because I haven't really played like a collection game in a while. But overall, once you ignore the EAs, the Ubisofts, the usual suspects who have sort of corporatized the video game industry, and you'll start, I think you will genuinely start seeing that people are making improvements, people are learning, they're changing, they're trying at the very least. And that's all I can really that's all we can ask for. You're not talking to me. Or maybe you are talking to me. I don't know. But let's see. Tehillim says, I quite enjoyed the remastered Secret of Mana game. It looked a lot cleaner in appearance. And when I think about, bringing back old games, that is sort of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, like right here in Chrono Trigger, right? A lot of people, and like my boy Josh, who's just joined us in the chat right now, he likes it. He likes using these filters to smooth the stuff out. Or maybe it's not Josh, somebody does. Maybe it's Andrew. I don't know. Those two occupy same friend positions. But, whoever it is likes that. I don't. I prefer the original pixel art because of like what I said, where they were working within the limitations. It made sense. I want to enjoy that creative vision they were going for. Yes, you might be able to make something look way nicer, or maybe not, that's not the right term, but you might be able to make something look more, again, like more graphic fidelity. And the best example I have of that is, Reeds versus Regen. There we go. Oh, cool. They made a little video. That can help us here. This is the game I always bust out when I talk about this subject, which is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Now, for example, right here, this is where I think, yeah, let's remake it. Let's upgrade the graphics, because this is, really compressed. You can tell the quality is low, and now we can see it way better in the remake, right? Like, oh yeah, they totally went 1080p. It's clear. They didn't have to downscale it onto a GVA card. Looks way better. You get more frames. That, when you're doing things like that, if you want to refresh and bring them up to, better quality, I'm all for it. But then when you get to, let's get to the actual, so here's the actual game. Now, on the left, obviously that's the remake or the original from the Game Boy, where they're these real, the sprites are vibrant. They're all custom. Every single element of that map was done from scratch to work within the limitations, and also the limitations of a GBA, and also emphasize what makes, the characters, their colorfulness, their animation, all of that stuff. On the right, yeah, that looks more like the PS1 game, but it also, to me, you're missing a big bit of the personality and the intent that went into that original one. For a less Spencer-centric example, Metal Gear Solid 3. The remake is really realistic. You can see pores on Snake's face. You can see individual hairs. But they've also, gotten rid of the color aesthetic. Some of the design choices they made, like for the boss, her eyes in the original, they do the sort of the Shin Megami Tensei thing where it's like a line and then 4 like lines down there to show like her thick eyelashes. Now they're just regular eyelashes. And yeah, I get that. But to me, you're losing something in translation. You're losing a lot of the original spirit, original intent. Choop choop choom. Let's see. No, is it you? I thought you were the one who liked actual sprites like me. But then, yeah, Josh, I also dropped the resolution to 480p. Oh, never mind. It's both of these assholes. It's both of the guys I talk to all the time, right? Like, you guys suck. Go play slop. Get out of my face. And yeah, no, I know you guys all appreciate it. I'm just being a complete dork over here. Sakuramita says, I imagined FF7 Remake on PS3 might play like FF13, but better. See, to me, I didn't like FF13. I wouldn't want anything to play like that. It is, like I was saying earlier with like Kojima and Hideaki Anno, when it comes to FF7, that is like one of my, to me, it's a near perfect, it's a top, not a near perfect game. It's one of my favorites, and I can sing its praises all day, and like even to its gameplay. So that's why I'm like, if you were gonna do anything to 7, I guess you can upgrade its graphics, but that's all I wouldn't want. I don't even know if I'd want that, because like look at like these little guys, this has personality and a story, and I've connected with it. I don't know, that's sort of it's all personal preference. Nobody is right, nobody is wrong. That's just my own take on it. Punk is out of here. Have a good night, my friend. Happy birthday. Have a good one. Go celebrate. And I can't wait to see when you get your Emma poster in. That would be rad. I will give you this, though, Sakura. I think like Square Enix could have maybe avoided stepping in the poop a little bit if they didn't outright call the first one remake. Right? Like if they'd have started with FF7 Rebirth or like Revisit, something like that, that would have set expectations differently. Because I do agree with that if you go, oh, we're going to give you a remake. It's not actually a remake. It's like a pseudo. It's like, okay, technically you're right, but that's not what you said. Get out of my face. Yeah, Timon says, I played FF7 7, 8, 9 on PC with amazing mods. There are definitely lots of amazing mods out there. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that even at their core alone, at least in terms of 7, that's like you can just play that game and it still holds up. It's still fantastic. You can definitely add to your experience. And sometimes when I play through, I do that. I'll get a different like character model, or I'll change like Cloud's sword to a different, like I've done a Keyblade run before. So I love mods. I'm not against modding. I fully support it. Any mod you want to make. I'm just saying, luckily these are games that don't need the mod help. Yeah, FF7 Part 1 of Undisclosed. Right, even that, I mean, that's what they're doing, but I also would have taken that as, and come on, Josh, you make that joke, but read that out loud. Does that not sound like an actual Tetsuya Nomura like subtitle for something? Final Fantasy VII Part 1 of Undisclosed, like that's the name of the project or whatever, is of Undisclosed. Like that's 100% an Advent Children novel side story, right? Yeah, Andrew says, I think using remake in the title is just kind of weak branding. Yeah, I think I genuinely, I agree with you. I think they did the remake because that was sort of the colloquial marketing term. That's what people would know and people would want. And it got announced during that era where we were getting a lot of them. So it probably got a lot of people onto that hype train. But yeah, you could have done a better name. You could have tempered people's expectations. We didn't have to go to that. AI enhancing backgrounds are a must. CRT TVs are different than LED TVs. I haven't done any of those sort of mods. I know Josh may have because he regularly mods his like older games. But I know that I do agree with this, and I know the CRT issue is, it's one of those magics that we'll never probably be able to perfectly like replicate. Josh and I, that's like one of the things we talk about a lot is when he messes with his settings, or I'll mess with them too. And we try to get, oh yeah, Mega Man 2, this looks like it's on a CRT, or oh, Mega Man 0, that looks like it's on a CRT. So that's going to be one of those eternal mysteries. And it makes me sad because they don't make them anymore. So go buy, if you can find a good, decent CRT TV, go snag that bitch and love it. Cradle it lovingly. Ravul says FF6 is greater than FF7. It's close. It's definitely close. I will say this. To me, FF6 is the best Final Fantasy game. 7 is my favorite, but I will admit that that 6 is the superior game. And I'm totally okay with that. Again, it's okay for the thing you like to not be the best one, or like the absolute like top tier. You can like bad things, guys. You're watching me. What do you guys think you're doing? Okay, let's see. Yeah, my favorite, or Timon says my favorite is Final Fantasy Tactics. That's up there for me, man. I think if I'm doing top 3 Final Fantasy, and I'll be nice, I will not include Kingdom Hearts. I won't be cheeky. It goes 7 Tactics. Shoot. This isn't because I'm trying to debate which one I'm going to pick in my head. Because I can't tell if I want to pick 9 or 6. Because, like, I think I like 6's setting and the characters more. But 9 is just, like, a masterclass in storytelling. I don't even particularly like most of those guys, like those characters. But I still like them, right? Like, that's the testament of FF9. No, the higher number ones. 10 was fun. After that, I really feel like things went downhill. I haven't played 14. I know a lot of people like 14. I'm not a big MMO person. I don't like games that require me to do things every day, right? Like I don't. When a game becomes a second job, that's when I sort of tune out. Like watch if Marvel Rivals starts requiring me to log in like every 4 hours to get a costume or something, I'm gonna shit my pants in anger. But yeah, the later titles, they just haven't really gripped me. 15 was I haven't played 16. 14 is MMO. 13 was just sort of an all over the place mess, even if I did like the characters. The one I want to like compliment is like the one that has a special place in my heart is 10-2. And it's not because it's a particularly good game or because I really like the story or anything. I specifically only like the dress sphere mechanic because it lets you, and maybe we can get like a cool montage going. Like just give me a thing where, yeah, just transformations. This is what I want. Like, you all know me if you're watching this show. I love my alternate costumes. I absolutely love that. So when you have a built-in, like, I'm changing costume mechanic with a bunch of, like, Toku-esque transformations. Like, Magical Girl Yuna right here. She just, before that, look. She freaking, A jump to the sky turns into a rider kick. And then she goes and, oh, magical girls it up, and she changes into her next form. This is crack to me. So I love the dress sphere, and I love the presentation. Everything else is kind of is butt in this game. So I'm big shout out to 10-2's dress sphere. A little bit of a pass on everything else about it. Timon says MMOs are boring. I agree to an extent. I think if you MMOs can be really fun in the early game when there's a lot of stuff you can do on your own, like learning the ropes or, you know, felling your first boss, yada yada yada. Once you get to like after that, you have to play with people, because if you don't have like a dedicated group of people, then it gets like, that's when it feels really exhausting. Like I stuck with City of Heroes for way longer than I probably would have because I had friends and I would jump on and we'd be doing whatever, but it's an excuse to hang out. It's an excuse to tell each other what the test question was in period today, because you're taking it tomorrow because you had a dentist appointment, right? Again, I was a teenager, but so it's about a balance. And unfortunately, a lot of MMOs lately have just thrown away that balance in favor of let's lean super hard into chores. Oh, definitely a Barbie JRPG. Again, I'm not defending anything of FF10-2 except this. This is all I like. That's all I want. Everything else is very much ass. But dress spheres are cool. Detotated whoop of Puipo. Oh man, whoop of people? Oh, I don't even know what. Detotated what? Let's see. Sakura says, I'm not sure if you've heard this. We all have opinions, but some are questionable at best, mind-bending at worst. Oh, I mean, that's just a more PG-friendly riff on my favorite one, which is opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, and they often stink. So that's why it's like, this is my opinion. That's your opinion. That's cool. We might disagree. I disagree with, you know, a lot of people I talk to on a regular basis. I disagree with you guys often. I disagree with Zero or Timon or Josh or Andrew. But just because somebody has a different opinion of you doesn't mean they're ontologically like a bad person or somebody to be, written off. I have friends who have like the worst. I have a friend who literally every time you ask him an opinion on something, he's gonna have the wrong one. And I don't know if that's because he's just a contrarian or because he genuinely likes this stuff, but I still love him. He's just kind of an ass. Oh, okay, yes, whoop of people. So you needed to put the G there. A detotated whoop of people. A detotated whoop. Detotated wham. All right, let's see. All right, we're coming up close to the end of the show, but you know what? While we're on the subject, let's see. Let me pull up what I'm looking for. Let's all go to the movies. Let's all go to the movies. Like, see, this is so cool. Just all the alternate outfits. Give me that forever. That's all I ever want to see. But on the subject here of Final Fantasy, on the subject of, let's just have some fun. Just a little cool thing I've been wanting to talk about for a couple weeks now. Magic the Gathering is finally, or not finally, but Magic the Gathering has finally revealed their Final Fantasy crossover set, and I'm pretty damn jazzed about it. As somebody who plays Commander with my buddies, I see a lot of fun strategies that are coming. The cards have all been very well treated. All of the art looks really damn good. They really understand what they're working with here, right? Like, we have an enchantment that is the catching and cooking mechanic from Final Fantasy 15. Absurd, but they found a way to make it work in there, and they treat it correctly. We also have a update to the, the Saga mechanic, which in Magic, you can bring in a card, Every turn you get a new ability for it, and then after 3 turns it goes away. That's what they're using for summons, which I think is like such a smart idea. And so far we've seen Shiva. We're going to be getting decks for, or like established commander decks for Final Fantasy 7, 6, 14, and oh my god, 7, oh, and 10, because that's Titus. Aside from that, every other game is getting representation in the main set, so we'll be getting everything from Final Fantasy 1 through at least 14. No idea if we're going to be getting like spin-off games like Type 0 or Tactics. I hope we do, because it's right for the picking. I also hope somewhere in there there's like a Sora card, because I know that if there is one, it's going to be the super rare pull, and it's going to cost $40 billion to get, but maybe I'll get it. I don't know. I don't do booster packs though, so yeah. When it comes to Magic, I don't do booster packs, because I'm just going to buy the cards I need to play. I don't need to try and... Magic does this really fucking dumb thing. They're called collector boosters, and they're a single booster pack of like 10 cards that they sell for like 30 or 40 bucks. And they put, that's where you can only in those packs can you find the super special drops for each set. But that shit ain't worth it, because there's only like 1 or 2 cards per set that maybe are worth more than $30 that come in that. The rest of them you can get for like $2. Yeah, I do not do that. I'm not about that. But yeah, so we're getting cool commander cards. I ran the Emmett Sellich one by my sister, who was a very big FF14 player, and she was like, that is his all of it. He's like he can bring back things from the graveyard. He's got like eternal life. He's got vigilance. She's like, that is the perfect way to treat his character for like that card. We're also, so you guys can see this too, we're getting, there's going to be 2 prints for each like legendary creature, which are the commanders in the game. But you can see here, we'll have like, here's Cecil, and he's the Dark Knight, or he can be the Paladin. And honestly, like the art looks pretty dang cool. Why can't I, like, can we get it bigger? I don't want it that small. Whoa, too big. Well, yeah, so you can have like Paladin, Cecil, or you can have Dark Knight. That art's cool, but then we also have these sort of special profile cards, which I get it. It's supposed to like highlight the character themselves, but it also, like, I'm not a big fan of these ones. They feel lazy, right? Like the background is just color and a number. Cool, I guess, but I'd much rather have like if it's between this Cecil or that Cecil, I'm going with that one, because that one, or like this Emmett versus that Emmett, definitely going for that one. Or like, see, there's when Emmett turns into Hades, he goes all purple like that, and then this one is sort of just a like a profile picture. It's cool, I guess, but I'm not super jazzed about it. We are also getting cards that are going to have art from throughout the series, which I'm so torn on, guys, because I think it's hyper lazy, but I also think it's cool to have a card with like that art, like the Tetsuya Nomura profile art for Yuffie on it, right? Yeah, so I'm torn. Obviously, I'm gonna want, the Yuffie card in that style at the very least, but might be cool, especially if we get a cool holofoil treatment. That's what I'm waiting for with this card, because like this one looks really boring, but maybe the background is like super sick. No idea. And then, yeah, we're getting Ishtola, Titus, Terra, Cloud, Celis, just everybody. Like, it's going to be, I'm super jazzed for this. Like, I know Wizards is not always the best company, and I know Magic has its really big share of problems, but sometimes I just got to admit, like, it appeals to me, and I'm going to get in on it. A cool bit for those of you guys who actually either just want some of the cards, or you might want to get into Magic with this set, they are releasing a starter kit, as you can see from this little header right there, that will feature Sephiroth and Cloud. And I think that's really cool and smart, because like those are the 2 arguably most popular. That's who people are going to want. So put them in the starter kit that gets lots of, what do you call it? Like lots of printings. You're like, that's a good way to help fans out, right? And also net yourself a pretty penny in the process. Now, before we move on from that, let's see. Yeah, Magic, Legolas, Aragorn. I know I'm speaking, what do you call it? Like ancient Eldritch languages to some of you, but we're here. And then we haven't gotten. Oh, what? You're not going to show me all of them? I have to. Oh no, I want card images. And then this year we're also getting a Spider-Man set for Magic the Gathering, and so far we haven't gotten all of the. We haven't really seen a lot of the cards. So far we've only seen these. Which, come on, where's the MTG like? So clearly these are all supposed to be. All 6 of these cards link up and they make a like a scene, and here it is. Boom. So pretty neat. I'm really glad they're taking inspiration from the comic books instead of the movies, and they had a designer over at Wizards actually come out and be like, yes, we went specifically for the comic books, not for the MCU. And to me, that's what I'm all about. Now, I am a little disappointed, as my other Magic players out there might know, they're not making commander decks for the Spider-Man set for some reason, which means there's going to be no like pre-constructed thing that you can just buy and start playing. Don't know why they're doing that. I don't know. But that, like, all I can hope for at this point is that somewhere in the set is a Ben card. And I will cry. I will cherish it. If that is one of the super secret chase cards, I'll fucking buy it. Oh well. But yeah, I understand for my Magic players out there. I totally understand that a lot of you might not like the Universes Beyond crossovers. I get that. It's not Magic. You want Magic. You're playing the game for that personality. I absolutely hear you, because I am like that with a lot of things when they start crossing over with, random movies or video games, what have you. I agree and I get you guys, but there is just something, this appeals to me, right? Like, I get to play a card game where I can play out Cloud and Venom, and it's not a cheap, like, it's not Universes. Or some up-and-coming card game that nobody's going to play. It's Magic. This is something that a lot of people play. I can, go out and, oh, you want to play this game? Sure, you're going to play Yargle or Yuma, which are Magic characters for those who don't know. Cool, I'll play Green Goblin. I think there's something really cool to that, but I also completely understand everybody who goes, this is weird. They're not going to stop anytime soon, because this is the only profitable stuff for Wizards. I'm not even kidding. They have come out multiple times and said, Magic does not sell for us except Universes Beyond. Actually, nothing over at Hasbro right now sells for them except Universes Beyond, which is why we, as we've covered here, the whole Power Rangers debacle. We know that the Star Wars licensing is going all wonky over there. So just a really bad time for Magic, except for with the Universes Beyond. And I don't know, guys, like, I like it. I'm excited to see it. You guys already know I have the first Marvel set. I have the Hatsune Miku set. It is what it is. I can acknowledge that I might not be, I might be supporting the worst habit of a bad company, but they got me. They got me, y'all. Let's see. Yes, Volume Dealer, real life gotcha in, like, to a straight up T. That's why when that terminology started coming into use, like gotcha, I was always so confused. I'm like, just call it a boost, like, call it a pack. That's what we've always called it. What the fuck are we doing here? And yeah, now, like, everybody uses gotcha. I get it, but it was such a weird moment. Like, not a bad weird, just like a what the heck? Oh, Volume Dealer says, dude, Star Wars Hunters was doing a skin vault. You're never getting uniform on the first pull. To spend full price would be $60. Oh, dude, Overwatch 2 specifically. Back in Overwatch 1, for those who didn't play, you used to be able to get loot boxes. And yeah, look at that, Timon! There we go. you used to be able to get loot boxes in Overwatch, and you can still get that in a lot of games, but in Overwatch, you would unlock it, and it would give you a random chance at getting skins, gamer, or not gamer tags, like profile icons, voice lines, cosmetics, essentially. And if you got a duplicate skin, it would convert that into credits that you could then spend, if you got enough of them, on whatever you wanted in the store. When they upgraded to 2, they got rid of loot boxes and made it so now you just buy shit. And there's no way to really get free currency. So now it's like, you want a skin? $13, bitch. It just absolutely dumb. Oh yeah, most of the time it's always like that, Volume Dealer. The skins do nothing, and yet they still want to vault them really hard. They still want to lock them. It's the scummy practice, as we all know, and I don't know what'll get them to stop it. Like, Assassin's Creed Shadows has a single player battle pass. That I do not care about Shadows. I'm not going to be talking about all the controversy. There are 700 other people out there who can go give you intellectually dishonest takes on it, but I'm just like, that is the only thing I really want to call out. But it is just like, what have we done as a society? What Pavlovian deal did we make with the devil to get to this point? Yeah, they do look a little bit like Spellfire cards. I think there's probably got to be some like design overlap there between the two of them. Yes, right, Josh? You know they're serious when they call him Sensational Spider-Man, right? Nobody calls him that, and that's the main card for this set, for our Spider-Man. So it's looking cool. Also, as one of my buddies pointed out to me, the collage nature of these is so funny because that Goblin Tentacles card, like, it's just got Spidey's foot on it randomly. I play Grasping Tentacles, and there's Spidey's foot. Or like the Green Goblin card has Venom's knee randomly on it. Haha, funny. I make myself laugh. Yes, gotcha and gotcha are very close, and it can go either way. It's like, yes, I finally gotcha, or gotcha, sucker, your money is mine now. Yeah, Timon, that really was where it all started. I was there for it. I remember the ancient text. I remember the horse armor. And I even knew at that point, I was like, what the hell are we doing here? And obviously, what am I? I was like a 13, 14-year-old. I didn't have any power, but hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, we start turning away from that. I don't know. There's good stuff and bad stuff in the industry. It's going to be a case-by-case basis. I don't think we're ever going to move away from this heavy monetization, but there are going to be companies that do it correctly. I will give a giant shout-out to Marvel Rivals, right? Completely free game. All the skins, yeah, you have to pay money, but, you know, it's only like 15, 20 bucks or something. And you have the option, if you buy the Battle Pass, you can, at the end of the season, you get this currency called like chrono tokens from playing, and you can trade that for other currency. At the end of the season, all those chrono tokens get disappeared. But if you have them, you can convert them into premium currency before the season ends, as long as you've already bought everything in the Battle Pass. So I think like that's the kind of stuff I'd like to see. And yeah, at this point, remember, at this point, it's going to be about finding compromises with these companies and supporting the ones that actually don't jam in any of that shit, right? Any company that says no microtransactions, no thank you. Support those guys. Support them. Yeah, I saw that Volume Dealer that they announced Star Wars Hunters is shutting down. I will say, I only want to bring this up really quick because I don't really have a lot to say about this game in particular. It was Star Wars hero shooter. It is what it was. I heard it was really, really good. So credit to the devs for that. But I will say, like, just from seeing things, like, this is the most interesting shit they've done with Star Wars in a long time. Like, a long time. You have, like, an Ewok who, after being on the Battle of Endor, like, tried to recreate his own, like, walker. You have, where are they? Oh, yeah, load more. There we go. My favorite one, yeah, you have the two Jawa scavengers who are, like, standing on each other's shoulders. Jedi, the droid who, like, just thinks he's a Jedi but isn't actually force. I mean, obviously he's a robot, right? So this is like what Star Wars used to be in the EU before everything went. We have to be Skywalker. We have to be Luke. We have to be whatever. And yeah, so like, credit where credit is due. I thought this was the most interesting thing Star Wars has done probably since Disney bought it. And again, it just, hero shooters are a really hard thing to get into, especially when you're a property that not a lot of people care about anymore. You know what I mean? Marvel Rivals gets a really big boost because people still do like Marvel Comics and the MCU. Star Wars, not so much. Utuni and its two Jawas? Why did they not call them Utwini? You know what? I'm not a what do you call it? A Jawa anthropologist. You go ask their butts. I have no idea. I see what you're saying. Okay, well, I'm saying with these money uniforms, they weren't making money. Also, they said there was going to be a PC port, and that's not happening. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, no. When they do things like that, when they go, oh, we're going to shuttle that alternate costume into a vault that you can't get unless you spend a ridiculous amount of money, that's because they're just going for the whales, and they know that they'll pay up. There's going to be somebody out there who goes, I need that skin, and they go in on it. And yeah, no, I'm right there with you. They probably just introduced that to squeeze out the last bit of money they could before they shut it down. Just get whatever, get the copper wiring out of the walls, if you will. And then the PC port, how many times we see that nowadays? There's so many games going, we're coming to PC. No, we're not. We're done. We got canceled. Right? Yeah. Not a Star Wars fan, but Utuni genuinely made me chuckle. That's what I mean. Like, there's this weird little spot in Star Wars where sometimes they get to have creativity, but it's so few and far between that I couldn't tell you the last time I remember seeing it. Right? I was talking to Josh the other night, and I was like, the coolest thing to come out of Last Jedi, like the most Star Wars-y thing, was fucking Babu Frick. I like Babu Frick. I was like, that he feels Star Wars. That's all I could give to like the trilogy. It's so, again, this is why I have this no Star Wars rule, because I could go forever about how shitty all of this is now, and like on my own show, it'll get more like infuriating here because it's a personal thing when like for me, because that was like one of the things I was raised on, and now I see where it is, and I'm just like, fuck out of my face. Like, I want nothing to do with it. Yep, that's exactly what I heard, Volume Dealer. Game is pretty good. Sometimes the characters are obnoxious. What do we ever get games nowadays where that doesn't happen? Like let's be honest. All right, let's see. Oh wow, we're at 2.5 hours already. Let's hit our main topic of the night, or at least let me inform you of the topic. I guess our main topic was mostly the action figures, and I'm totally cool with that. I enjoyed that. But it is the topic in the headline. It is the topic in the thumbnail. It is something I really do want to talk to you guys about because I see a lot of, I don't want to say disinformation, but wrong information out there. People not entirely understanding what we're talking about. So let's get into... before we get into that, Volume Dealer says, the Jawa is kind of annoying and the blind sharpshooter is too op. But look at him. He's two Jawas on top of each other. Look at that. That's incredible. And they got that little like laser beam. See, this actually does look like it could have been fun. But unfortunately, it's Star Wars, right? Maybe some of these devs can go over to Marvel Rivals and bring some of those gameplay ideas with them. Could be cool. No, Josh, I did not get to Texas yet because we were all over the place tonight. We were talking action figures. We were talking other things. I don't know. We've just been hanging out tonight. It's one of those sort of streams where we haven't hung out. Like we haven't had a show in a couple weeks, so now everybody's just hanging out, getting to catch up. But let's get to Texas real quick because it's really important. So let me first pull up I might play like a couple matches of it, Volume Dealer. I am kind of interested. I will let you know if I end up doing it or if I end up playing some more Marvel Rivals because I'm just addicted to that dang game. What's a good... What's a good graphic for me to pull up right now? A visual, if you will. I guess this works. Later, Tehillim. I will see you soon. I hope, amigo. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. And yeah, we'll be getting out of here very soon on our own. But this is something very important that I just want to inform everybody of. That is not the link I am looking for. But at least you all know what the search result for the letter A looks like. Okay. All right. In case you guys did not see, last week, Texas passed what is known as State Bill or Senate Bill number 20. As you can see here from the official website of the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, the bill was put forward as a measure to stop AI-generated CP, right? And look, this is sort of, we see this all the time. They sponsored this bill under the guise of we're trying to protect the children. However, when you look at what the bill actually does, there are really no provisions towards what they should be working for, and it's more it's more fear-mongering and allowing a loophole that can be super abused, right? And I want to make this clear because we talk about this a lot. And I say this all the time, and this is another instance where it rings true. Anybody who, loudly beats their chest and says, I'm saving the kids, I'm doing this to protect them, we need to, the Helen Lovejoy, think of the children. Time anybody does that or goes out and is super, super aggressive about, I fucking hate pedophiles, I'll kill pedophile, blah, 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 blah. We all hate them, dude. If you're being that performative, you're projecting. You're trying to do the magician's trick by going, look over here, and not at my massive amount of, incriminating material on my end. And it just keeps happening. Whether it's that senator out of, I think it was Virginia, who just got busted. Tim Ballard was doing a lot of that same stuff. The guy who got super famous for the Sound of Freedom. I know it's so easy to go, that guy is saying something good and I agree with it, I should support him, but you really can't don't take things like this at face value, because while it sounds good on its face, no pun intended, none of this is ever what it claims to be. Now, to that end, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This bill is, as Dan Patrick specifies right here, is about, or was at least put forward and attempted to be passed, or was passed. Let me make that clear. This bill has already passed the Texas Congress and Senate. All it has to do now, it's on the desk of the governor to be signed. Barring his own decision to say, I don't like the text of this bill, no changes have been made to it since it passed, and no changes will be made before it's enshrined into law. As Dan Patrick listed there, this bill was put forth and presented as a means to combat AI porn of kids. Very noble goal. We all agree with it. However, if we can put if you look through the emotional bent of, yes, stopping kids from being harmed, this doesn't do that. If we're talking about AI generated images, what we are talking about here, are completely random fictional images generated from image sets, right? Like, it learns on images that exist. If you're really trying to combat AI CP, you need to be very specific about what you're doing, and you need to not just go after the art or the engine. You need to go look at the actual model sets these are being trained on. That's where your attention should be, not on the end product. Because here's the unfortunate, uncomfortable truth, guys, is that you will be able to generate that stuff as long, companies, yes, should be putting barriers up on what can be generated or whatever. But it's so easy with AI to just take from different image sets and make something that resembles a child. You really can't stop this unless you go full authoritarian and full fascistic. Again, I don't like it, I think it's fucking gross. And if I learned anybody was doing that, like generating that stuff, I'd probably call the cops, even just because what else the fuck am I supposed to do? But it is still entirely legal to generate because it is not depicting a real person. Unless there are laws in place, guys, that can, what am I trying to say here? That put exemptions for images that are supposed to be like real individuals, like real children. That's where you can start. It's still really shady, but there are things you can talk about there. But as long as it's fictional, as long as nobody exists and was harmed in its production, you can't really ban it. Now, obviously, this is Texas. This is one of the most conservative right states in America. And in America, we got to remember that conservatism isn't just, conservative government. In America, conservatism is very closely related and linked with, hyper-religious, beliefs, particularly Christian. So what you're seeing here is reactionaryism. They're going, I want to stop this evil. I want to end this thing. So I'm going to ban it. I'm just going to put a stop to it, which is it's not just a conservative tactic. It's an American politician tactic, which is instead of actually fucking dealing with anything, I just want to ban it. And it's not even just a politician thing. Look at all the people going, oh, porn's going to corrupt your soul. Oh, ban vaping. Like, why don't you have some fucking self-control? Like, why don't you sit down and parent your kids? Why don't you learn something? No, you're just going to put it into the hands of the government to go, no, I don't like it. Get rid of it. But then it opens you up to things like this. Now, this is going to be the boring part because we do have to read a little bit of the text of the bill, and I don't really have anything prettier to show off than the literal text. Now, this bill is, quote, entitled, to be entitled an act relating to the creation of the criminal offense of possession or promotion of obscene visual material appearing to depict a child. Promote has the meaning, that's a bunch of legal jargon, but under this law, this bill, a person commits an offense if the person knowingly possesses, accesses with intent to view, or promotes obscene visual material containing a depiction that appears to be of a child younger than 18 years of age, engaging in activities described by section 43.21a(1)(b), regardless of whether the depiction is an image of an actual child, a cartoon or animation, or an image created using an artificial intelligence application or other computer software. An offense under this section is a state jail felony, except that the offense is a felony of the 3rd degree if it is shown on the child offense, blah, 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 previous convictions. Let's see, where is the other part? What is this part? I forget. Oh, there's just that's right. They're doing that other stuff. But this is what we need to be concerned about, right? Right here. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly possesses, accesses with intent to view, or promotes obscene visual material containing a depiction that appears to be of a child younger than 18 years of age engaging in activities, regardless of whether the depiction is an image of an actual child, a cartoon or animation, or an image created using an artificial intelligence application or other computer software. Let me see if this is the one that has the... There's a secondary document we need to look at here so I can give you guys the full context. Let me just grab it real quick. Why can't I find it? Man, I know I read this because it was one of the main things I called out about this, because this is the actual main engine to why this is so bad. And I should be on my Twitter. Let's hope, let's hope, let's hope. Oh yeah, okay, this is where I was talking about it for like 4 days because nobody was listening to me. Then, all right, let's see where. So this bit right here, right? Chapter 43 of the Texas Penal Code. This is where they are referencing. This is how we will make our determination if something is an obscene visual. Here's the definition. In this subchapter, quote, obscene means material or performance that the average person applying contemporary community standards would find that taken as a whole appeals to the prurient interest in sex or depicts or describes patently offensive representations of, or descriptions of ultimate sexual acts, normal or perverted, acted or stimulated, including sexual intercourse, sodomy, and sexual bestiality. Again, guys, remember, super hardcore religious state, it's still illegal to, butt fuck. It's crazy. And then, or patently offensive representations or descriptions of masturbation, excretory functions, sadism, masochism, lewd exhibition of the genitals, the male or female genitals in a state of sexual stimulation or arousal, covered male genitals in a discernibly turgid state, or a device designed and marketed as useful primarily for stimulation of the human genital organs, and, or, taken as a whole, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, and scientific value. Now, what we need, this is where it gets, tricky, or not tricky, but dangerous, because in the, I didn't even pull up the right thing to show to you guys, but you heard me talk about it. That's all that really matters. But let's see where, so first of all, there are a lot of people, let me rephrase that. The main reason I'm bringing this up is because this bill is genuinely a threat to freedom of expression, and it is a full-on censorship bill. Full stop, no argument. I know a lot of people have been going around going, oh, this won't target anime or anything, or, oh, nobody's going to read the law that way. Fucking false. That is not how the law works in America or in the world. In the world, if you have a plan, or if your idea of how something is going to work relies on people will just do that, you don't have a plan, you have a fucking dream. And so if you're looking at this law and going, people won't apply it like that, you're out of your goddamn mind. Because this says, it's not even saying you're making child pornography. There's an entire statute in the Texas Constitution about that, or the penal code about what defines CP. This isn't part of it. This is just obscene. And as you can tell from what we just read through, what determines it to be obscene is genuinely just if somebody fucking thinks it, right? There's that, the definition, the first definition of obscene that I read out was something is obscene if the average person applying contemporary community standards would find that taken as a whole, it appeals to the prurient interest in sex. Now, this is where the wording needs to be looked at, because when you say the average person, what does that mean? The average person, I mean, if you got all of my neighborhood together and put us in the park and you looked at all of us, I'm going to have a way different, opinion of sex and lewd material than probably my super religious neighbor who I see going to church every Sunday. Who is the average in this, respect? And then what is community standards? Because again, this is Texas, so their community standards are probably really fucking high, and going anything that shows an ankle is going to be obscene. Like think of the JDAs or the Trents of the world, right? That's the mindset that this can be abused by. And again, they don't have to prove that this was, any intent to make it sexually stimulating. They don't have to argue it. They just have to think that it depicts somebody under the age of 18 in an obscene, position. And why this is so important for us to be aware of and to call out and to beat the drums about is because that doesn't mean anything. I can look at anything right, guys? Especially, and a lot of you out there who hang out on Twitter and see the social media arguments unfold around this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, which is it just requires somebody to go, I think that's what it is. And anything can be interpreted that way. A piece of chibi art, or, Nami. In my thumbnail for tonight, I picked Nami with her cleavage out. Boom. That's sexual. It doesn't even matter that Nami is 18, even pre-time skip. If some, church lady goes to that and goes, my word, that woman has her boobs out and she looks like a teenager because she's got the anime eyes. Boom. You have a fucking felony for watching a One Piece movie. Now, does this mean that the police are going to start going out tomorrow, kicking down doors, and raiding your house for Dragon Ball manga? No, probably fucking not. We're not that deep into Trump and Elon's authoritarianism. Give that a couple of years. But nor are they likely to start, stopping you on the street for a Dragon Ball shirt. That's not what we're talking about. But it's not about whether or not it will be widely applied. It's the fact that it can be applied. All it fucking takes right here is one person with a grudge to go, Josh, Shinkai, Sakura, Tehillim, volume dealer, you're a fucking pedophile because you you watch Crayon Shin-chan on your TV, and that shows a little boy with his penis out. You're like, get the fuck out of here. That's why this is so dangerous. This is not about protecting children. This is about purity spirals. And what makes it even more dangerous is that this is not just a right issue. This is what makes this super dangerous, is that if this goes in, when this gets signed, it's not coming out of law without a genuine fucking dragged down fight because of horseshoe theory. Right now, we live at a time, at least in this country, where the hyper right and the hyper left both want everybody to be in a fucking burqa, or not even that. They want all women to exist in a place where the lights are off, so you don't ever have to look at them. So why would it, if the Republicans pass it, why would the Democrats come in and all of a sudden, take it back when it's something they can use? And that's where we get really, really tricky here. This isn't about widespread sweeping bans. 4,000%, most of the people, signing this bill or co-authoring this bill don't even really understand what they're talking about. They just see AI, child, protect, let's go. Again, do you guys remember It's a Series of Tubes? That guy was in charge of the internet for 2 decades, and he didn't fundamentally understand how it worked. So this is so dangerous because at this point, anything that one person thinks violates this law, you're fucking out of here. And they specifically cited, I believe the main sponsor of the bill, he specifically cited Bleach, right? Tite Kubo's Bleach, Orihime, Ichigo, Arrancar, all that he said qualifies under this bill. For those of you out there, Bleach doesn't have hardcore pornography. It doesn't have sexual intercourse depicted on screen. It's just big booba girls. Sometimes they get in risque outfits, like when Yoriichi lets her lightning form out, and that's all that's covering her. But that's what they're targeting. We are living in an insanely censored, puritanical time that is 100% being propped up by religious sentiments, and it's rough. But we need to be calling this stuff out. So if anybody out there goes to you and says, "Oh, they're not going to do this. This isn't anything to worry about," they are wrong. There is no, as I said earlier, I know a lot of people who have tried to say, "Oh, look, the penal code has a different definition. Oh, look, this isn't going to happen, whatever. Oh, look, this isn't what they meant. They'll never use it like that." Look, I get that a lot of people might be on the side of a conservative politician or a conservative legislature. I get that. But that doesn't mean this is okay. And that doesn't mean that you should just roll over and say, yes, come, stomp on my freedoms. And guys, this isn't even just an anime problem. like make that very, very clear. This can apply to anything, right? Did you read the book Lolita, Victor Nabokov, or that's not Nabokov, but Lolita, about, the whole point of that book is that the guy is, having wrong thoughts about that young girl, but you can't tell that story without having those scenes where he's acknowledging her sexuality and all that stuff. Boom. If you read Lolita, you're in jail. If you watch the, like that's what I'm talking about, guys. Anything like that. Just anything that they could even remotely possibly associate with you being sexual, you're out of there. One of the examples I brought up on Twitter is, let's see, where was it? I have it right, or I'll just grab the entire tweet because I can use all of them. These were the three examples I brought up over on Twitter, right? Yuzu from My Hero Academia, I'm totally blanking on her name right now, from Red Ranger Isekai, and the Supergirl variant cover. All of those characters, except for Yuzu, over 18. But it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter that Yuzu isn't necessarily being sexual. She just has boobs. Doesn't matter. This is sexual. You have a felony. That is literally... You cannot go... When it comes to the law, you cannot ever attempt to say they won't do this because, unless it's specifically enshrined, you cannot say it won't happen or they won't use it this way or it can't be applied this way. Because that is the advantage and disadvantage of our legal system here in this country. So, I don't really have a solution because, like I said, this bill has already been sent to the governor. It is on his desk. All he needs to do is sign it, and it is law. I can advise you guys to, bleat, pound the war drums, bleat from the top of your lungs about how this is wrong. Do what you can to bring attention to anybody who might try to push back against it in the future, and keep reminding people. Don't let that narrative of, that it's not going to apply to anime or fiction or whatever. Like, it's never going to do that. You cannot give the government trust like that. I do not care who is in office. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if you don't like them. I don't care if you're a fucking, you love Trump so much you have a picture of him and Elon 69ing on your fucking bicep. I don't care. You do not trust the government, and you do not trust you do not trust maybes to protect you. That is why we have the law. That is why we have things like amendments, because you need to specifically spell things out. Otherwise, your ass will get screwed, especially in this era of, we are heading, unfortunately, guys, in America towards a corporate or oligarchy where the people in charge are super rich and really only care about their corporations and their profits going up. They will do everything they can to these individuals who support this type of mentality will do everything they can to make sure that they get their way, that they can override you, and that you have no say, right? You could have a completely, for example, you could go to, let's say you could go to Disneyland, and you could get clocked in the fucking face by an employee, and you could go to, court and say, I'm suing Disney because they let one of their employees assault me, clock me right in the fucking face. And unless there is a provision in the manual, like the employee handbook, that says Disney employees cannot physically harm an employee, a guest, they will find a way out of it. They will find a way to go, well, you agreed and there's no rule against it. Remember, Disney, I know I'm using Disney, but Disney wanted to say, you cannot, ma'am, you cannot sue us or sir, you cannot sue us for your wife's death because at Disneyland because you guys had Disney Plus. That's what I'm talking about. So you cannot. It's rough. I know that a lot of people don't have as much exposure to law or understanding of it like I do, given my research background and the things I did when I was in school. But this is important. This is censorship 100% at the ground level. The only way you can justify this is saying, yes, I agree with censorship. There is no other way around it. Remember, save the children. All of that shit never is for saving the children. Never is. Because that's what I was getting at the beginning, right? This bill only says if you have this image, or like you're holding it, or generating the AI image, you're in trouble. It has no provisions for, we're gonna go try and find the source, the data, the model set. We now have access to your accounts or like none of that. It's just publishing the individual right there, because they don't really care about stopping it. This is just one of those red meat things they can throw to their base, and all the dumb people who eat this shit up will just go, we're finally taking down all those secret cabal of Democrats. There's no such thing as a pedophile Republican. It's always those Democrats, blah, 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 blah. So in an era where America is facing so many threats to just our freedom in general, whether it's speech, whether it is just existing on the street, this is a threat. This will be used against you if you get on somebody's wrong side. And I just want everybody out there to know it, because that's really all you can do is look out for yourself. All right, let's see. I know I kind of just went straight with that, and I didn't check the chat, but we'll check the chat now. Let's see what you guys have to say. Zero says, what doesn't help is that there's a lot of infighting over interpretation of the law. Not helping is legal mindset siding with the no big deal team and insulting those who are concerned. Okay, you guys know this. I don't give a shit about internet influencers or anything like that, right? I have the content creators I like, but just because somebody says something I might agree with, or they're on my side on one issue, does not mean I give 3 fucking shits about what they have to say. Right? Like, I'm not one of those people. So legal mindset, I've talked to him a few times over on the Pro Show. Seems like a nice guy, but he is dead wrong on this issue. And I brought it up to you in Discord, Zero. I think he's being a little disingenuous here because he is right-leaning. And he's probably seeing that, this is to save kids. There's nothing in here there's nothing that explicitly says anime in here. This is good. And again, as Timon brought up, laws should leave no room for interpretation. It doesn't have to say this is specifically anime, or it should say we're not targeting anime or whatever. But the bill, unfortunately, does just say pretty much anything is fair game. And that's not how that should work. Let's see. Just look at the people facing up to 20 years for King Tesla. That's what I'm talking about, right? Again, I don't think you should be keying up people's cars, especially I know with Tesla, a lot of it is people bought those cars before Elon was out there. But to start qualifying keying a car as domestic terrorism, let's grow the fuck up. Are you kidding me, you children? Yep, exactly, Shinkai. What an average person thinks. So based on feeling, clearly no room for bias, and that's the key. It's just if they feel this is bad, you're done. Let's see. And that's another one, Josh. Thank you. I can't believe I forgot to bring her up. But the character of Bulma has just accidentally flashed her cooch to the character Roshi, sir. You're going to have to come with us. Think of that. Even those early jokes in Dragon Ball, those funny little toilet humor jokes, those will get you fucking banned, right? Like the joke about Bulma lifting up her dress and showing the panties. That entire scene is based on the idea of Roshi being sexually titillated, and of course they're gonna do it. That's just that you can't trust. Yeah, especially when it comes to art and creativity, you really can't trust people to be understanding, because unfortunately there are a lot of people who don't know couldn't tell you, they can't imagine what it would be like if they didn't have breakfast this morning. You know what I mean? So they are ignorant, and they are willingly ignorant, and they don't even want to take a second to consider any other viable possibility. These are the type of people where you get in a fight with them or you get in a disagreement with them, and they will just shout you down and keep, regardless of what you might be saying. Looks like there might be an earthquake really soon. no, you're fucking dumb. You believe all that stupid shit, blah, 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 blah. And then as it starts like cracking, they're going, oh, I'm still like, no, you're still fucking stupid. Why would I believe you? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Shinkai says, wasn't there a video game character based on an adult model that Twitter was calling a child? Same people watch Power Rangers and think those teens played by adults are kids. There was, well, not just one Shinkai. That happens with pretty much any Japanese styled character, whether they are more realistic, like Eve from Stellar Blade, or they're, more stylized, like the girls from Senran Kagura. It doesn't matter. Like, it is so subjective that anybody, you can find, I could go out and find somebody, guys, who thinks that, like, this picture of me, like when I'm, clean shaven, I could find somebody who says he looks like a kid. He's, trying to entrap kids, or like, it's all subjective. You can't, you're basically ceding power here to the craziest person. Because without those guardrails, you're just saying everybody can have a say, everybody can start accusing, and yeah, once you leave it open to interpretation, people will go through the mental gymnastics to say, yes, this is that, right? Yes, volume dealer. Art is 100% included in this. Let me pull that back up. Where was that? Is this? Oh yeah. Yes. Regardless of whether the depiction is an image of an actual child, a cartoon or animation, an image created using an artificial intelligence application, or other computer software. So literally, an image, whether that be a Renaissance painting or some stupid little doodle. So that's what I get worried about here, right, guys? Imagine some kid in conservative red ass Texas draws a stupid little cartoon to his buddy, and let's say it's one kid draws himself jerking off into the other kid's face, and it says like owned, haha, and it's just two stupid kids being stupid kids. The second that little dumb drawing gets intercepted by the teacher, they can say, my God, they're exchanging pornography of each other. They're drawing each other nude. This is child porn. And boom, those kids they have their lives ruined just for having a joke. And what defense do they have? Because when you go in front of the judge and the judge says, well, did you violate this law? Theoretically, or legally, yes, they did, because it is so ill-defined. It is art. It is any image. It could be on your phone. It could be in real life. It could be on your TV. This could be a case of, it doesn't even really matter what happens, right? Let's say you have a bar, right? And you are one of those bars that I really like, where you just leave random TV channels on. So they'll play FX and a Marvel movie will come on, or they'll flip it to Toonami, and maybe we'll watch an episode of Naruto or whatever's on. Imagine that. All it takes is one stick up his ass person in Texas to go into that bar at the second that maybe there's a commercial playing for Sailor Moon, and they can go, what the fuck is that? And then you go, did you know you were put it on that channel? Yeah, you're going to have that one you might get out of, but it's still going to, cost you money and time. And it's just, this doesn't help anybody. All this is pretext for persecution of people they don't like. And again, you know me, I don't support any of that awful, evil, map bullshit, right? I'm not talking about those kind of people. I'm talking about just the guy like me who has a sticker of Asuka on his water bottle from Evangelion. Boom, I'm going to jail because somebody goes, that looks too sexual. And again, it's just their opinion. It is just their opinion. Yeah, Zero. Well, it's not yet, but that is what Trump is proposing. He wants to make any attack on a Tesla of any kind a terrorism charge and ship you without due process, like everybody else, down to El Salvador. It's a really bad time right now. Yeah, exactly. At the state border. Sir, are you carrying any guns, drugs, or sexy mangas? And you're like, no, sir, you can totally check the vehicle. He goes, like he does the like search under the like the siding on your car, and he, what's that? All of a sudden, like a an Android 18 figure in a bikini falls out. Get him! Oh my God! Like this is the most dangerous man. Osama bin Jerkin or something like that. That is what it is now, Timon, but they're trying to change that. Like, they are genuinely trying to make it so any infringement on a Tesla is terrorism. It's a bad time right now. Shinkai says, also speaking of Yoriichi, new Bleach game released today. Yeah, that's the like Arena Fighter one, I think. I saw some friends are playing it right now on Steam. I got 1,000,004 things I gotta play, so it might be a little bit till I get to it, but I want to play it. I generally like Bleach games, even though a lot of them are just like arena fighters or rehashes. I tend to like them. And then yeah, exactly. Like this is sort of the statement to put on this, or like the punctuation to put here, right? Twitter free, as Zero says, Twitter freaks love playing digital Stasi, and that's left, right. It doesn't matter. You can't give people this sort of like you can't give people the ability to ruin your life or something over feelings. This was something the right understood for like a couple years, and now that they're just, you know, it's a whole political thing, but this is where we're at. Stay vigilant. Don't let people prop up a false version of what this bill actually does. And go invest in hard drives and stuff, guys. Go save your own digital stuff. Like, you never know when a law like this might result in, like, who brought it up? Revol brought it up, right? This is going to be an interesting development for Crunchyroll, considering that they are based in Coppell, Texas. Who knows if Crunchyroll has to start obeying this law and they start doing, like, the Middle East censors on everything. It's going to be bad, and, yeah. All I can do is inform you guys. That's my job, because, yeah, it's rough. It sucks. And at least we have each other, right? At least we know that this is factually retarded. No matter how much the Texas legislature wants to try and convince us, we know better. So stay woke. I legitimately have no idea how to end this segment, but that is what it is. Shinkai says, so access with intent to view, but the judge needs to have access to it, and intent is to view, to judge. That I see what you're saying there, but there are like provisions for that, because we do, like, in this, we also have, when you bust somebody for possession of that material, we do have people who have to go and review it all, and it sucks. Like, there are people in the world who have to review every single piece of media, like anything uploaded to YouTube or Google or Twitter that gets a report. They have to manually look at it and say, yes, that is what it is. Sometimes when the police get, you know, recordings of an abuse, they have to watch all of it just for any potential, like, clues, just for the evidence. It's a heartbreaking job. It has an intense turnaround. It sucks. I don't know why I'm getting that so far into it, but yeah, the provisions do exist, but I do understand how, like, do you guys really understand what you're saying there? There is, okay, see, that's what I'm saying, Zero. There's precedent for it to go down, but somebody has to make that challenge. And I don't know right now if any member of the two parties would be doing that, right? Like, they both see that this is advantageous to their ideology. So there is recourse, but somebody has to get us on that recourse, and it can't be us, unfortunately. All right, yeah, we've already gone 15 minutes, or like 45 minutes over where we normally would have stopped. I think that is a really good stopping point. You've learned, you've laughed. I wouldn't say you loved unless you made a special connection out there in my chat, but I don't think any of you goofballs would be doing that. But if you are, congratulations. Send me an invite to the nuptials. But anyway, Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight on this return episode-ish of Good Mav Ugly. I know it's been a couple weeks, but I'm glad to see your faces. I'm glad we got to hang out, spend some time together, talk about some cool stuff. I hope you guys had some fun. I hope I was able to help kick your weekend off right. It's Friday night. Go play something fun. Go read something cool. Go watch something that you know you're going to like. There's that new Batman Yakuza movie. I cannot wait. The first Batman Ninja was great. This one looks even better. So there's stuff out there. But until then, you can go to boundingintocomics.com every day to check out new news, where I will always, keep you honest, tell you exactly what is going on, all the warts, everything included. Check it out. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Aside from that, thank you everyone for hanging out, from everybody who was talking in the chat, from Corey to Andrew to Volume Dealer to Zero to Shinkai to, I said Volume Dealer, Shinkai, Sakuramita, to Hillam, Timon, Josh. I think I'm getting better at it, but soon I'll have the new layout and it won't really matter. But yeah, guys. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. If you were chatting, if you're watching in the replay, or you're watching right now and you're just not chatting, still thank you. You're still just as equally as special to me. I see you guys in the stats, and I know you're out there. Thanks for hanging out. That's all we've really got for this week. Until then, keep your head in a swivel out there, and yeah, until next time, guys. I'll see you soon.
As the creator of Mara Jade,
Wait! I am not the creator of Mara Jade, and I want you to get out of this office right now.
I'm sorry, Zeb.
No way.
You brought
No
it on
way.
You brought it on yourself.
I don't want you here.
I'm so
Out.
sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Out.
Ted, I got your voucher.
Out! There.
I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. We'll have him burned and
I don't even know who that guy is.